let's open the meeting first.
Then you
Okay.
call him, and I'll give you the number, how's that?
All right.
We're not gonna do things down.
Okay.
I can't.
So it's 6 o'clock, so we'll call the meeting to order. George, would you say the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so this is 6 o'clock on July 16th, 2025. This is the Zoning Board of Adjustment for Madison. And as I just informally explained, it is the chairman's prerogative to adjust the agenda in comparison to what it was on the public notice, as long as we hear all those cases. So we are going to start with case 2320, which is continued. So Kate, will I call Attorney Johnson? Let's see, do I need to dial anything, or did I just? One.
And then the 603.
You need to hit a button on the right-hand side
Yep,
though.
sorry, I'll help you.
That's all right.
You gotta get into number out.
Oh, I see, I gotta give you PD1.
I can't do that upside down,
No,
sorry.
not PD.
Okay.
That's
All right,
poison.
hang up, and then. There you go. Speaker. There you go. That's loud.
Matt speaking.
Hello, this is Drew Gentile, Chairman of the ZBA. Can you hear me okay?
I can, Drew, thank you.
Okay, so are there any members of the public that are here for case 2320 in particular? I just need to be sure that you can hear. Mr. Johnson, would you say a sentence or two so that we can determine that Kate can hear you and any members of the public who are interested in this case can hear you?
Sure, this is Matt Johnson. I represent the Franklins on case 2320.
Okay, so since we're doing this electronically by exception, this is not a prohibited action. Are you here for case 2320 by chance?
Is that the cell tower?
No, but if you're here for cell tower, come on in. We're just,
There's others coming. We went to the school.
oh, excuse us, Mr. Johnson, we're just clarifying members of the public coming in.
Yeah, quite all right. In the meantime, I'm just going to add my client to the call.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yes, add your client to the call.
Very good. Hello. Hi, Mr. Franklin, Matt Johnson. You're on with the ZBA for the town of Madison. Hi.
Yeah,
They're
so,
doing some housekeeping to start with, but then they'll get back to us.
right, so we just want, yes, so we just want to verify, my name's Drew Gentile, I'm chairman of the ZBA, and we have a 4-member board tonight. So first thing I need to do is verify that you wish to proceed with 4 members. The 4 members that are present are Chairman Drew Gentile, Vice Chairman Sharon Schilling, Doug McAllister, and George Rao. Do you wish to continue and wait for a 5-member board, or do you wish to proceed with 4 members?
We wish to proceed with 4 members.
Okay. Kate, would you read the notices, et cetera, et cetera? I don't know that they can hear you. So, Mr. Johnson, let us know if you can hear what.
Will do.
Yeah.
You want to grab a chair and put it in front?
Okay. Matt, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, sorry about that. Case 2320 continued from October 18th, 2023, all the way through July 16th, 2025. I'm not going to read every single continuance. Appeal from an administrative decision from Matt Johnson, Esquire, Divine Mill, and Branch, PA, agent for Corey G. and Cynthia Franklin, 26 Little Shore Drive, tax map 104, Lot 96 to determine whether or not their circumstance allows for short-term rentals relating to a denial from Robert Boyd, Code Enforcement Officer, dated August 16th, 2023, as to Article 4, Section 4.6A of the Town of Madison zoning ordinance. I sent out certifieds, recertifieds out on the 5th of June, posted everywhere, town website, everywhere on June 5th, and there was no posting in the Conway Daily Sun because that was not necessary. So we're good. And all my mailings came back.
Okay, so Mr. Johnson, we effectively, of course, you're free to say whatever else you want regarding the case, but we were effectively waiting for information to determine whether or not there was a financial whether your client was financially vested prior to the vote and posting date of the thing. So why don't you make your
Correct,
comments?
and I by letter in Federal Express and email by date July 11th, provided an updated package to try to address those questions raised by the ZBA. The package included a statement from Mr. Franklin, which was signed before notary, 2 emails demonstrating the financial interest in the property and just properties in general. I've also attached the pre-approval certificate from February 28th, 2022, and also you had previously, but just to include, to keep it simple, the letter from the mortgage lender explaining that they needed the investment income to qualify and that they were relying on that to qualify to purchase the property that they did in Madison. And finally, I just asked my client to pull together and provide to the board 1 year of rental history so that to the extent the board decides to exercise its equitable authority, there would be at least some track record or reference point that the board could look to. I have Mr. Franklin here in case the board has any questions, but then just to add to what the materials say, my client was actively looking for a property that they could rent and use personally. They needed it to be investment property. They wanted it to be one where they could rent it some parts of all the year round, and they did locate Madison. It just so happened, as the statement indicated, they closed in April. The zoning ordinance changed March 10th of 2022. They did not have any knowledge or provide any knowledge by anybody in the transaction at the time they closed that in fact the ordinance had changed and now prohibited short-term rentals. And so they've used the property, the family uses the property. I provided a little bit of additional information in the statement, which provides some context in terms of how they've used the property as rentals and how they've tried to be good neighbors and respectful of the Madison community. And with that, I will take any questions or comments the board has and do my best to answer them.
Right, is your client intending to speak, answer? We may have questions that are relevant to him.
If the board has questions relevant to Mr. Franklin, yes, he is free to answer them. That's one of the reasons why I brought him, made him available on the line.
Okay, then I need to swear him in.
Sure.
So, Mr. Franklin, are you there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, I'm here.
Do you swear that the testimony you give pertaining to this case will be truthful under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. So let the record reflect, Kate, that Mr. Franklin is sworn in. Does any members of the board have I have a couple of questions, but I'll let board members go first.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well, what I'd like, Mr. Johnson, is just, so what we're looking for here is evidence that your client was financially vested in this project prior to, well, specifically the vote, but also the posting date. And so it'd be interesting to know if he could just summarize, or you could summarize the sequence of events. For example, when was the property chosen? It doesn't have to be the day and the hour, but was it chosen in November? Was it chosen in February or March? Obviously not in March, but and when was the loan application made? And sometimes loans go in 24, 48 hours, and sometimes they take weeks. So it'd be good if you could to give us a summary of the sequence from the time when the property became, shall we have property of interest, decision to buy the property, and then the individual dates of, shall we say, the significant decisions leading up to this approval of the loan that was dated February 28th, which is approximately a month before the vote. Can you summarize that for us, please?
Sure. The property was listed on March 25, 2022, and I believe went under contract with my clients on March 28th of 2022. And I believe, but I'm going to double check, if you give me a minute, that the loan application was around the late March 2022 timeframe, and then the property closed on April 29, 2022.
Okay, so in effect, the earliest date of when there was financial interest was February 28th.
No, not even then.
Well, that's
It's a pre-approval.
It's a pre-approval,
There's no financial interest. It's just a letter.
right, yeah.
So we don't know what.
So, well, no, we
It would
just,
have to be when they went under contract, they put money down on the house. I would
right.
say.
The date of the contract was, what was the date of the contract?
It went active under agreement on March 28, 2022.
After town vote.
What was the date of the vote?
In 2022, it would have been middle of March. I'd have to go back and look at a calendar.
Kate,
Yep.
can you tell us what the date of the vote was in
Can you
March
pull the town
2022?
report?
The what?
Town meeting in March 2022?
It was February 2022.
No, the
The
town meeting.
town meeting.
It was in February.
That one? Nope, go back 2022.
Sorry?
That's okay.
2022?
What's the date on the front of it?
No date.
Bring down the books.
Just says 2022, no date on it. Madison
In
Annual Report
February.
2022.
Yeah. I wasn't here. I wasn't
That
walking.
is no.
And it has to be,
that-
Let's see, 2022.
there we go.
There we go. March 12th, 2022.
Yeah, they're always in March.
Okay, do board members have any other particular questions regarding?
I just,
Okay, so, does anyone in the public wish to speak to this particular case? Okay, can you stand, come up here to the microphone, state your name, and we'll swear you. I need to swear you in, yes, but also for the sake of the microphone.
Sure.
you can raise it.
Can I move this up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can turn slightly for the TV camera as well,
How's that?
that's good.
Good, can you hear me?
Click it,
What?
pull it towards you.
Say it again.
No, it's.
How about
No,
now?
no, it's not a micro, it's for the TV,
It's for
it's
the-
not.
Oh, for the TV, okay, very good.
Yeah, okay, so, do you swear that the testimony you give pertaining to this case will be truthful under penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay, state your name for the television and
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Bill Dempster, I live in Madison. Two quick points here, and I think I can help clear up a lot of things. I spent a lot of time researching this. I have something for the board. If that's okay, I can hand that out for you. You can follow along. I saved paper, so it's written on both sides. And I put a note on there that point two is on the back. There were some comments made at I think it was at the April meeting, that the signals were loud and clear in Madison, that town was trying to do something about regulating STRs. And what I did is, I actually quantified that for you. I highlighted three key points that deal with this particular case. One is you can see them and look at them, the bottom three. One is Madison Board of Selectmen. If you remember the December 2021 note to folks in Edelweiss, zoning ordinance violations that went through, showing that the town of Madison and that the enforcement out of town Madison was going to enforce our zoning ordinance at that time. Secondly is the Realtor of Record. Really, that was a 26 Little Shore Drive. Sellers Realtor was a 20-year residence in Madison. Matter of fact, he lived right up on the corner here at the Four Corners. He was a well-known, respected realtor. I retained his services when I bought my property in 2017 and found him to be very informational. I asked him all kinds of questions about what was going on in the town, provided all that information. And finally, the third point is the applicant's knowledge of STR restrictions. Notarized documents submitted to the Madison Zoning Board in March of 2025. Quote, we looked at dozens of properties with many excluded due to short-term rental restrictions. All I'm saying here is that there's all kinds of multiple signs that there was something going on in the town of Madison. If I can quote, which I think sums it up quite nicely from a former chairman of the select board, you have to live under a rock to not know what's going on in Madison. It was all over the place. So that's Exhibit 1. Exhibit 2 is on the backside. This is actually a timeline I put together for you. It's actually, the meeting was on March 12th, the town meeting, but the vote took place on March 8th, 2022. So that was highlighted. On March 12th, 2022, the new zoning ordinance was published with new amendments. And then you can work your way down the property. Yes, it was listed on March 25th. A contract was signed in March 28th. A warrant deed was signed in April 26th, and then April 29th, property was, the property was sold and the mortgage was signed there. If you need a copy of that mortgage, I have it. I was able to download it from the Carroll County Registry of Deeds. And also I quoted on here the different book and page numbers on the Registry of Deeds to show when the whole history took place in the property. There's nothing different from this property that you've looked at before, heard from before, from all the other cases where there was no prior rental history and they commenced short-term rental after March 8th of 2022. It's the same as all the other ones in which you've denied their administrative appeal, and this is the same as those, and I ask that you do the same for this case. I'll take any questions if you have any.
No, thank
Okay,
you.
thank you very much.
Okay, so,
This is Corey, am I able to make a statement?
is that Mr. Franklin?
Yes.
If you're agent and you agree, yes, you may make a statement.
Yep, go right ahead.
Yes.
Sure, all right, I just wanted to say that, this process for us started in 2021 of looking for a property. We were looking for a family second home that we could also supplement some of the costs with renting. Our realtor was fully aware of it. We shopped around to several towns. Again, it was a long process. We were coming up. We found Madison. We fell in love with it. It did happen pretty quick. The realtor that we were buying from and our realtor never mentioned anything about this, and that is a very unfortunate. In the end, we did purchase this with the explicit understanding that we were going to rent, and like the letter says, we needed it. We needed to rent, not to make money, not to profit, but to be able to, supplement some of the costs. We've never turned a profit. We spent far more than we've ever made, and it was right on the edge. We agreed to it. I understand the actual closing was beyond it, but it was complete news to us when we found out later on that short-term rentals were even being disputed in the area. And I just want to say we don't rent to anybody. We're very responsible in who we rent to. It's not a full year thing. We rent to only, 25 years and above with children that have prior rental experience. So we're very responsible. We've never had a complaint. I just like to mention that in the sense that we're not the problem, and we really, without the rental income, we wouldn't have qualified for this mortgage, and that was the whole arrangement. We rearranged our whole life. We refinanced our current home to be able to have the funds to, buy this house. We use it as a family. My kids love it. My family love it. We rent it, you know, sporadically throughout the year just to help offset some of the costs. And I just hope the court takes, I mean, the board takes that into consideration when going through this. We did everything we thought was the right way, and this came as a complete shock to us in the end that this was going through. I understand that it was maybe publicly available, but we were new to the area, and we were not informed, and we already basically, we agreed to the purchase of this house, and the closing happened after, but we already agreed in March, and I would just like to make that clear that this was a prerequisite of buying the house that we were going to rent to offset some of the costs. Certainly not to make a profit or to cause trouble in Madison. We love the community, and just wanted to put my 2 cents out there. You know, I understand about renters doing, I don't know, the challenges or the concerns from the board, and I just want to make clear that we're not part of the problem. That's my statement. Thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Franklin?
Nope.
No, I have a statement.
Mr. Johnson, any further comments, rebuttals, or?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, then, can
Mr.
we,
Chairman? May I ask a question?
yes?
Is the
Mr.
board-
Dempster's asking another question, in case.
Is the board considering the claim of vested interest, subsequent grandfathering for this case?
Repeat the question, sir.
Okay, the question is, are we considering this as grandfathered if there's financial, if he's vested financially? And the answer is,
Yes.
well, that's actually what we're considering.
Yes,
Because
that's why we asked for the
the only
information.
reason that we could grant this is if he could show that he was financially vested. Because financial investment is a grounds for grandfathering in New Hampshire law. And we're not here to be sticklers, we're here to apply the zoning ordinance and the law equitably. Not to grant favors, not to be sticklers, we're here to hear the facts of the case. In this case, yes, if you're asking,
What if I can show that we refinanced our home to get the money to be able to buy the property prior to the ordinance change? Would that make a difference? We refinanced to get the money for a down payment with the explicit intent to buy a property that we could short-term rent.
well, what the board would need is to be able to say that there was firm evidence that you were financially vested
In that property.
in this property. If you did that, shall we say, as part of the pre-approval process without a specific property in mind, if, for example, you can show that you not only had the contract, but you'd actually visited the property, had, you know, some sort of pre-arrangement, you know, with the owner, that whether it's in writing or even a verbal agreement that the owner would agree to, that predates that. I mean, those are the kinds of evidences we could consider, but a general pre-arrangement that allows you to take a step. I mean, I understand we're kind of caught on the horns of a dilemma here too, because we have to be equitable, because we've had so many of these cases. Mr. Dempster, did I answer your question?
Yes, and may I make a comment on that, please?
You may.
As far as I understand,
Could you come up for the
Sure.
microphone? So, Mr. Dempster asked whether or not we're considering granting grandfathered status based on financial investment.
yeah, the question, I guess the general question is with vested interest, and what I've read on court cases and looked at various cases in New Hampshire and how they handle and you hit the nail on the head, Mr. Chairman, is the applicant has to have skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they were given some type of contract, whether they inherited it, they had to have some way of securing that property. I find that hard to believe because the property didn't come up until, on the market until late March. So how can you have vested interest when they haven't shown documents or anything to say that they had a vested interest in that property, that they could secure the ownership and right to use that property. I don't think this case, vested interest applies. I don't think this applies to this particular case.
Thank you. Mr. Johnston, do you wish to reply to that?
No, the dates are where they are. I mean, I recognize from my client's perspective that he did do a lot of financial work to be prepared to buy a house, but in terms of the actual purchase and sale, where I would say he did commit resources was in March 28th, which was after the ordinance changed.
Right, so, Kate, is that what we have as March 28th is the date that you caught, right? Is the date of,
Went under contract.
what date did it went under contract?
Yeah, and that's what,
Contract March 28th,
Yep.
closed on April 29th, loan app in March 2022.
Comment was made that the property wasn't even on the market until the vote had been taken. I can't, what date was that?
vote was March 12th, well, technically March 8th, but the zoning board ordinance was amended, published and amended on March 12th. The house went on the market March 28th, 2 weeks later,
Oh, okay, so,
or
went on
16th.
the market, or did it go under contract the same day it went on the market?
No,
25th.
I'm sorry, 25th it was listed for sale.
Oh,
3
okay.
days later, on the 28th, it went under contract.
Right, okay. The board have any more questions?
Well, you did get pre-approval for the property on the 28th of February.
But it's got no
Right.
note that it was for this property.
Right, there's no, it's just that when you find
doesn't-
a property,
Okay,
Yeah.
so it doesn't,
the pre-approval does not specify the property.
okay.
Yeah,
And a reasonable realtor should have known that this had happened and should have advised the clients as such.
I feel
Well,
bad for
that's-
them that they weren't advised.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
But
unfortunate.
the fact is that they did, and I understand, legally what you guys are saying. It's just that the challenge of, if we didn't have the ability to rent, we wouldn't be able to afford the house or qualify for the house. And we're in a really tough spot. I know it's not opinion or sympathy, but, we're really locked in. We can't afford the house with this ordinance change, and this changes the whole game for us, and we're really in a tough spot here. And because of all this going on with the zoning board, we actually put the house on the market. It has been sold. I don't know, the reasons why, but we're really in a tough spot here. And I know sympathy is not really a factor, but the whole process of getting this house was for the intent to short-term rent, and having long-term before. And I don't know, it's really important that they didn't tell us, because if they did, we wouldn't have bought, and now we're locked into this situation, and it's really unfortunate from my perspective.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Franklin. Does the board have any more questions? In that case, we'll close the public hearing.
No.
Okay. Okay, in that case, we are going to close the public hearing, and for those who are not familiar with our procedures, this then transfers to a public meeting, which means everyone is welcome to listen, but there's no further input, from the public on this particular point. So we will commence our deliberations. Do we, Kate, do we already have a list of preliminary facts on this case in the minutes? So we need to establish our findings of fact. In any event, part of the issue tonight was to clarify those points. So point 1 is pre-approval for the loan was granted on
February 28th.
February 28th. What was the date of the original letter from the Realtor? It said that we had.
The letter or the emails?
Well, yeah, they emails the explanation. There was an explanation that they were intending to buy with the intent.
Oh, the one from the Realtor? Or from the loan officer?
Yeah.
This one. This
Yeah,
one,
just-
from Milestone Mortgage Solutions?
Oh, yeah, here it is.
This one?
Yeah, right.
It
Yes.
doesn't have a date on it.
Yes, it does, November
Oh.
15th.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Here.
Yeah, but he's explaining it after the fact, which is fine.
Right.
Okay, so we'll say,
I th-
milestone, well, this is just collecting file findings of fact.
Right, and so I think using some of these dates from Exhibit 2 that Mr. Dempster submitted, March 8th, town meeting voted.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's get them in sequence right now. I just wanna get the date of the milestone mortgage.
Sure you hadn't gotten that far.
February 28th.
Just so you know, I went through the file. You haven't gotten that far doing findings of fact, so.
Oh, no, okay, thank you.
You asked me to look and.
Yeah. Milestone mortgage, solutions on November 15th, 2023.
That's 2023.
Yeah, well, they're acknowledging that they took the rental property aspect into consideration when they granted the mortgage.
So that's not the
It's still
pre-approval.
November 2023, which is after the March dates.
I know, they're just, but they're
Yeah.
explaining.
Okay.
I'm just saying, there's a letter here, it's a finding of fact, this letter exists, that's what it says.
Okay,
So that's
That's
the
all I'm
mortgage, not the pre-approval, correct? That's the real mortgage,
I am the loan officer who wrote the mortgage
okay?
for Corey Franklin's property in Madison. When qualifying for the mortgage, we used, per Freddie Mac's guidelines, 75% of the projected rental income to help offset the mortgage payment.
And the date of that was
Well, he
November
wrote
15th,
this on
2023.
November 23rd, but
November 23rd of,
November 15th of 2023, but
That's-
he's explaining
that's fine.
what they did when
Right.
they did the mortgage in 2022. That's all.
Okay.
I'm not arguing one way or the
No,
other.
I'm just making it clear.
November 15, 2023 explained that 75% of the rental income was calculated as a basis for the
projected
mortgage.
rental income.
Yeah.
I think that that's important.
Okay.
They didn't have necessarily concrete facts of what that rental income was gonna be, because they didn't necessarily.
No, that's true, but,
I
Yeah.
rented it, yeah.
right, well,
Right.
but we're just trying to establish
Right, but I think it's important to put projected rental income as
projected,
opposed-
75% of the projected rental income was calculated as a basis for the mortgage. As in the mortgage. Okay, so number 3, then now we come to the sequence of events. March 8th, do we have anything in February? Yes.
February is the posting of the warrant article. I don't know what date it was, though. Because it's a
March
month
8th.
before.
Was the meeting vote.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay, so it's posted, just say, for the sake, it's
Posted
posted in
February.
February of 2022. The warrant articles are posted. For March 8th, there is a town vote. Well, what do they call it, town election?
March town meeting.
No, was it town meeting
It's a
on?
town meeting.
Was,
Oh, no.
no, it was the, what day of the week was March 8th?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, so that was the election,
That was the vote.
yeah,
I would
Town
just say then,
election.
town vote.
right. And 5, the town meeting. And the change in the zoning ordinance. Point 6 is March 25th. The house at
26
Little Shore Drive.
Little Shore Drive.
Was
listed. March 28th, under contract. To, what's Mr. Franklin's first name?
Corey,
Corey, that's right,
Corey.
right. Okay. And then when was the cease and desist order?
Notice of violation, August 30th of 2023.
August 30th, 2023. Do you have that letter in your hand, Sharon, so we're sure of that?
There's a copy of it. Okay.
You have the copy? Yeah, okay. So August 30th, 2023,
Yep.
cease and desist. Cease and desist order. And 9 then applied October 3rd, 2023. Applied for appeal of an administrative decision. Okay, so those are, I'll summarize those. One, well, actually, pre-approval for a loan was granted in February of 2022. That was February 28th, right? Pre-approval.
Pre-approved February 28th of 22.
Right. Second point, Milestone Mortgage Solutions explained after the fact with a note on November 15th, 2023, that they had taken into account 75% of the projected rental income as a basis for granting the mortgage. Number 3, the warrant articles were posted in February 2022. March 8 was the town election, and March 12th was the town meeting. Those two events together resulted in the ordinance change that were then published. March 25th, the house at 26 Little Shore Drive was listed. March 28th was under contract with Mr. Corey Franklin. August 30th, 2023, cease and desist order for short-term rentals was issued by the Code Enforcement Officer. October 3rd, 2023, they applied for an appeal from an administrative decision, that particular decision.
We didn't put in after the March 28th date, the April 29th date, that was when the property sold, mortgage was signed, the deeds,
Oh, yeah, okay.
deeds
April-
registered. April 29th.
9th, okay, so 7, 8, 9, 10, April 29th, the deed was registered,
It's recorded.
Deed, yeah, it's recorded.
recorded, yeah,
I'll just put it in the CCR.
right, okay. Okay, so those are the findings of fact. Difficult as it is, I mean, with an appeal of administrative decision, we have to be consistent with all the decisions we've made.
And that's what's tough,
Yeah,
because
it
we're
is
talking
tough.
3 weeks
What's that?
between the time of the vote
Yeah,
and
So-
the time of the sign.
right. Do we have suggested motion?
I mean, one of
Right.
the things that we're talking about is whether or not he had a financial investment in the property. I don't believe that the, refinancing of the house, or even if they had taken a second mortgage, because they hadn't identified a house yet, and because they didn't have an actual, they had a pre-approval, not an actual approval on a piece of property that they had put a security deposit on,
There's
there's
intent-
no financial investment.
Right, there's intent to buy.
There's an intent to buy, but it could have been an intent to buy anything. And in fact, Mr. Franklin's he indicated in July of 2021 that they were making a course change to invest in a vacation rental property instead of the multifamily. And then when you go to the
Okay, hold on, yeah, let's catch that in the findings of fact, and we had it again.
in July 26th of 2021 email, from Corey
Okay.
Franklin to the financial guy, Zach Banis.
Yeah,
It says, we believe we want to make a course change and invest in a vacation rental property instead of a multifamily. We
Right.
feel this would be far more profitable if done right. In an earlier, or in a later email, in the next month, in August of 2021, he says, we're looking for a vacation investment property, most likely in New Hampshire on the water, preferably near mountains for skiing, hiking, etc. So we know that at that point, they hadn't necessarily even settled on Madison as being a place to
no,
buy a
it's,
piece of
it's,
property.
no, yeah, I mean, it's clear what they're looking for, but like I say, the question is, were they vested in this particular property? And
Yeah.
Given the number of cases and our requirement for consistency, I think we need to move to deny the appeal
Yeah.
based on, well, because the date of the contract was 3 weeks later than the change in the ordinance.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's, Kate, do you catch that?
Yeah.
Move to deny the appeal because the date of the contract on 26 Little Shore Drive.
Excuse me, Drew,
Yes,
can we please not have conversation in the background while we're trying to do this?
yeah, can we, this is not a public hearing at this point, this is meeting.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just
Dated-
hard enough for her to
Sorry.
hear to begin
Yeah,
with, so.
it is.
Date of the contract on 26 Little Shore Drive was
28 March.
28 March, 3 weeks after the ordinance change. And 7 weeks after, approximately 7 weeks after the posting
Posted in the warrant article.
of the warrant article.
It was actually the 29th, the signing. The signing of the contract was
Oh.
on the 29th,
Okay, well that's,
so I don't
That
want.
would be March 28th.
did you say our
That,
March?
okay, that's when the warranty deed was
Yeah.
signed. Okay,
That's our.
Notarized document.
okay, okay.
Okay, so then, for the sake of the, folks who are on the phone, we need to take a roll call vote. Are we ready to vote?
We need a
Who's gonna
second for the
second
motion.
it?
Yes, we
Oh.
need a second motion.
Can you read the motion?
Yes, move to deny the appeal because the date of the contract on 26 Little Shore Drive was 28 March, 3 weeks after the ordinance change, and 7 weeks, approximately 7 weeks after the posting of the warrant article.
I think we also need to say, because we asked for whatever financial information, we need to make a statement that we find no financial vesting.
But that's in the statement of facts. We don't wanna make this
It-
motion.
It's not in the statement of facts. There's no statement of fact in here that says there's no financial vestment.
Yeah, that's an assessment.
Right.
You're right, that's an assessment. I mean, you can conclude that from the findings of fact, but that's, yes. Okay, so Sharon, state that last phrase again. It is in the warrant article because, okay, and we
And
find.
evidence,
And we find no evidence,
right, evidence submitted
no
shows no
evidence
financial investment.
that the applicant
Had a financial investment
was financially
Yes.
invested.
vested in the property prior.
But I was financially invested though. I already refinanced the house. I know it wasn't for the property, but I already invested in it. I made a commitment well before this change.
Well,
He can't be.
I can't, we've heard your testimony, we're not taking testimony at this point. Okay, so it was prior to the vote. Okay, so read that. Move to deny the appeal because the date of the contract on 26 Little Shore Drive was 28 March, 3 weeks after the ordinance change, and approximately 7 weeks after the posting of the warrant article, and we find
No evidence.
no evidence that the applicant was financially vested prior to in this property.
In this particular property.
Yeah, in this property. In this property prior to the vote. Okay.
Second.
Okay, Sharon seconds, I made the motion, Sharon seconds. Roll call vote, so I'll vote last.
Sharon Schilling, aye.
Doug McAllister, aye.
George Rao, aye.
Drew Gentile, aye. Okay, so we denied this appeal, and let me read the formality here, and then we will dismiss.
Or close the
our-
case.
our- Yes, close the case and dismiss our parties here. Okay, so if one wishes to appeal, one must act within 30 days to date on this notice, day one being the day after the date of decision, that's tomorrow. The necessary first step before any appeal may be taken to a higher court is to apply to the Board of Adjustment for a rehearing. The motion for a rehearing must set forth all the grounds on which you will base the appeal. Board members are advised to refrain from any discussion of the appeal with other board members or any party to the case until all appeal periods have expired. Thank you. This case is closed. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you for allowing us to participate telephonically, and we will sign off now.
All right, thank you. Okay. Give us 1 second to collect our,
Thoughts?
collect the stuff that we have for this. What were we gonna say?
No, I was gonna ask George, or Doug to double check, because the lights were still red, but they did hang up. That's all, I didn't want it to stay and open. I know, George, you're over there. Oh, I'm over here because I have a cold and I don't wanna get any of you sick.
That's good. We like that.
We like that.
You don't have a mask on. You could have a mask on.
I don't, I looked for one, I don't have them, I threw them all out.
Okay.
All right, what are we on
Okay,
next?
so the next, okay, so now we're, like, so this is gonna be an unusual meeting tonight.
Oh,
One of the, in order for us to hear the case, to decide whether we're going to rehear, we have to approve the minutes of the meetings on which that
Oh, okay.
decision is made. So
Okay.
we're gonna have to pull that forward and review the minutes of April and May and approve them.
And then we can,
And then we can decide, based on the record, whether we can, should or should not rehear the case. Sorry for the administrative foibles here, but that's, we just, you know. Okay. So we are looking at the minutes of April 16th, 2025.
I'm good up until page 4.
Okay,
I've got on page 1,
Oh,
Okay, go ahead.
what, and this may be right, under midway down, case 2408,
Yeah,
variance, you've got authorized agent for twice.
where's that?
We
Right.
did that last month, we took that out.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yep.
Then I got the,
Yep.
okay. you did
Oh,
take
you
it
got
out.
it.
oh, do you have
I'm
last
sorry.
month's minutes? You didn't,
I
she
put
sent
it in
us,
the packet.
did you send new, should look at the new ones
She
she
did, and I
sent?
just said, oh, I'll use my old one, because,
All right.
Well, then we're
we know-
gonna
we know she
disregard
caught
you.
it. Okay, that's
okay, there you go.
all righty, so
Sorry about that.
Sharon
That's okay.
said page 4.
Yeah, I'm on page 4. Underneath the bolded headline that says Mary Lou Dow, Eaton resident, abutter, previously sworn in. The next to last line, where it says Dow stated the coverage is not enough. Yeah,
I
That's-
don't-
it's
a
yes,
duplicate.
Is that twice?
yeah, it's a duplicate.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Right, and then further down the page, The next to last line, it begins with, in addition to the 20 bullet points,
Yep.
another point 20 was added. So that had to be 19 bullet points with 20 being added. Because it says in the sentence before that, and he read these 19 bullet points to the board. So that should be 19,
Yeah,
Yeah, the
Okay.
19, another point 20, this is 19.
right. Anybody else?
Nope.
no,
Okay, on the next page, the paragraph above the one that says Mary Lou Dow, Eaton resident,
Chairman, then Chairman.
it starts with Chairman Gentile stated that the board will need to decide. The next sentence, Chairman Gentile further stated, it says he, it should say the. And then in that bolded paragraph, the next paragraph, it's at the second line, with the reduced footage from 150, it should say to 130 feet. And then further on in that paragraph, the data that 130 feet meets the requirement.
Yep.
And then that whole next sentence, Chairman Gentile asked Attorney Springer if he could provide, yep,
Yep.
doubled sentence.
What happens when you get up and read on the
I
calendar?
know,
Go
right?
Back to your desk.
Page 6, I just have questions about stuff, but, this was a meeting I wasn't at, so I don't know if. And I can ask Drew later on, these are just things like, the last paragraph says motion by Gentile, seconded by McAllister, to accept the waiver request with a condition that legible plot plans are submitted. Were they? Have they been?
yes.
Okay. Page 7,
Just at the top, she's got AN instead of AND.
what?
Sorry, top of
At the
page.
very top of page 7.
Ian, yep.
Page
right.
7?
I'm on it,
Yeah,
George.
right,
Yep.
the first, very first sentence.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, and, in the paragraph that starts, Chairman Gentile stated the 15 feet to East Madison Road. The last line in that paragraph, to the road, it says, to the road is, it should be as it is. And then 3/4 of the way down the page, before the findings of the 5 conditions, the paragraph that starts Chairman
Yep.
Gentile should say
Asked.
asked the board instead of as. I didn't have anything on 8.
Or 9.
I have the, on 9, I have the same question about having the agent submit legible drawings if that's happened.
Yes.
Okay, and then I have nothing on 10, and I have nothing on 11. That's it for
Okay.
April for now.
Do we have a motion to accept the minutes? Let's see, you can't actually vote on this.
Yes, I can. Actually, I talked to Linda. I can vote because I can vote about the, like I can't change content, but I can vote on
Okay,
the-
okay,
Yep.
yeah, okay,
Correct. I
the
back her up.
correctness of them, right, yeah.
alrighty.
We
um,
checked.
Move to approve the minutes of April 16th.
As amended.
As amended, yes.
Second.
Okay, George seconds, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, minutes of April 16th have been approved, okay, now, the minutes of May 21st.
Yeah, those are fun. Ready to,
Oy vey.
well, you did like 8 cases in one night.
No. And they were complicated. They weren't cut and dry and easy. Okay.
Okay, so,
I have nothing on page 1.
Good start.
Right? Page 2, the second line, that starts with addition to the letter from Kent Chamberlain. The next sentence says, he further stated.
Yep.
He is both capitalized, it should be capital H,
Yep,
lower e.
Gotcha.
Okay, in the next paragraph, Attorney Springer, it starts with, also stated that several meetings ago. The last line, and these variances, the word, it should have a comma after
Yep.
the variances and strike the word and.
Yep,
And then another comma after opinion.
right.
Okay. 2 paragraphs. Chairman Gentile questioned the canopy height measurement and asked Attorney Springer if he could clarify the height I put in of the tower
Okay,
as opposed to the trees.
just up the tower,
Or,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Last paragraph, where it says Chairman Gentile
Yeah.
also asked if Attorney Springer, if, strike that first if. Did I catch everybody's? You guys have anything else on that page?
You know, I'm a terrible proofreader. I don't see half of these things.
It took me like
You know what
3
this is,
hours,
Rich, the
but,
proofreading, literally?
Well, it took
Read
me
it
how
back.
many hours
to
to
type
3
them,
in the
right?
morning.
Okay, the top paragraph on the next page. Okay, Chairman Gentile stated that Attorney Springer previously mentioned, the 3rd line down starts with the word he,
Yep,
strike it.
The whole sentence?
No, just
No,
the word
just the
he.
word he.
Alright.
Should be a comma after the word feet, where it says structurally at 130 feet. And then another one after carriers, and strike the word but. Got that?
okay, I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
sorry. I didn't see.
Yeah, well, I want to make sure you
Just
catch
kick
them. In the paragraph, bolded and capitalized elevation of alternate,
Yeah, I
there's a
caught
missing
that.
any,
I
okay.
saw that.
You got that one?
today,
Okay.
actually.
And then, in that line, it says, reminded by Scaife that she is, it says and alternate, it should be an, strike the D.
Yep.
And then, next line, she has sat on this board formally before, that's redundant, strike formally.
Okay.
Under preliminary findings of fact,
Okay,
1,
this
2,
is true, okay. This is Drew's stuff, yep,
okay, 1, 2, 3rd line down,
okay,
the generally accepted, convention, if you will, is that when you use
where,
when you use an abbreviation, we wrote MPE later in the document. This is the first time maximum permissible exposure is used. Then you can put behind it in parentheses MPE.
Drew.
That's okay. No. That's why we review
I didn't actually approve his stuff either. Gotcha. Are you done with that?
I'm done with that page. Trying to understand. Hold on.
And you see on 12, number 12, the findings of fact, I changed it to 130 feet.
I did see
Okay.
that, and you underlined it.
I did. I highlighted and read on my copy, but I didn't, our printer doesn't print
Right?
red.
No. There's existing structures that could be used to provide the needed coverage without the use of power. Okay, so on 10,
10.
Colton Dow submitted material suggesting that there are existing structures that could be used to provide the needed coverage without the use of power, comma, as well as Kent Chamberlain, PhD. What does that mean? I don't know that even needs to be there.
Well,
Yeah, well, just a second, hold on.
No.
Existing structures, it could be.
He's saying that there are other structures that we could use without a tower.
Right, but why does it say as well as Kent Chamberlain? Are we using Kent Chamberlain as a tower?
No,
Right? Well, that's how it reads, sort of,
Yeah.
right?
Colton Dow as well as Kent Chamberlain.
yeah, that would be the way
Okay.
to do it.
So
But just move it so that the testimony reflects 2 people, which is what the intent of the sentence
I
is.
could just say Colton Dow and Kent Chamberlain, PhD,
Yeah.
submitted material suggesting that there
sounds
are.
better.
Okay.
Right.
You wanna change yours, Drew, too, if
You want to change what?
yours that you sent me, so,
Oh, no, this is the record.
okay, that's fine.
Okay, next page.
Uh,
You got
um,
something?
Yeah, I just want to verify because point 12, we added 130 feet.
Right.
I just want to verify for the sake of the public that 130 feet was added because you heard that on the television
Yes.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Yep,
so
I
that
can
was,
verify that. I
the
got
the
you.
reason why that's important is because in the decision letter, that 130 feet was omitted as a typographical error. So, in the decision letter, we copied the findings of fact.
Ah,
And it missed the fact that we stated 130 feet. And so, this being added here has significance to our later discussion.
right.
Okay, go ahead, nothing left on,
Nothing left on page 4. On the bottom of page 5, very last line, to a certain extent, comma, how large, yeah, take the D out.
That's a lot of stuff. That's what it doesn't pick up the little things.
I know, it won't ever pick that up.
No, I know.
In the paragraph on the next page 6 that starts with shilling,
Yep.
the very last line says practice, and therefore you can strike the word and. It just says,
Yeah.
with current practice, therefore no variance is required.
Gotcha.
Oh, and in the last paragraph, Chairman Gentile
Yep. stated,
as a matter of process, he is suggesting the as one pro and one con because the board is, I don't know what that's supposed to say.
I think that's right.
yeah, we can clear up, because as you read through there, the findings of fact, excuse me, the deliberation on the 5 points, in order to allow the board to assess the situation, we provided 2 alternative statements.
Right, I understand that, but
And
this,
that's all we're trying to say here, was that he suggested, yeah, so that. we
so
just
he
need
is
to
suggesting
clear up.
there be one pro and one con?
Yes.
Okay, so the as, take out, make it there be.
Gotcha. Are we done with 6?
I think we're, yeah, oh, yeah, I'm done with 6, 7. I don't know if I can change this, but where it says Chairman Gentile gave a suggested wording as follows, about halfway down the page.
That's quoted.
I know.
That's quoted. Quoted.
So, excuse me, so was there an error in that paragraph?
Well, first of all, it's one really long sentence.
Oh, yeah. You're quoting me there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay, well, and what you're quoting me is, as I rambled verbally,
Yeah, I
right?
quoted it in quotes.
So
and that's
what we
why it's
wanna do is,
italic.
what we wanna do is put periods in there so that it's legible, right?
Yeah, so that it makes some sense.
In order to violate the standard, it must violate it to a noticeable degree, so we will go either
Comma after degree.
degree, comma. Yeah, so we go either with the volume and clarity of public testimony on these 2 points,
And then insert the word which
which,
either substantiates the fact that the changes to the neighborhood would be significant because of rural remote ambiance, is the defining characteristic of the neighborhood.
let's put
There's
a period there, and then say this
This would mark it.
this would markedly be markedly. yeah,
impacted by the presence of the cell phone tower.
So we're not
So
changing
change-
the wording, we're just adjusting the syntax so
Yeah.
that it's readable.
So instead of the word which, make it this,
Yep, I did that. And then
Okay.
Yep.
and clarity of the public testimony does
Mark-
not substantiate.
Markedly should be just mark. Should be market impact, not markedly.
No, if you're saying would be,
Right.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you leave the
you leave
word
that in
be
there.
and you have to,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
Okay.
yeah, it is an adverb, so
An adverb.
markedly is.
It's not an adverb, but
Okay, go ahead.
impacted by the presence of the cell phone tower, or the volume and clarity of the public testimony does not substantiate that there is a marked change in the character of the neighborhood. Because the visibility of the tower is reasonably limited, traffic loading is only a few trips per month, and sound levels outside the enclosure would be less than voice levels during generator operation. Okay,
Right,
that
so
makes
the
it two
critical-
long sentences.
Right, but the critical point is there's an or in the middle there.
Where's the
Or the
or?
volume.
Yeah, right, yes, or, well, okay, you go back up 1, 2, 3.
I don't see an
By the
or.
presence of cell phone towers, it means time markedly impacted by the presence of cell, or, in the fourth sentence,
Or the volume.
or the volume. So the point is, we probably should put a period at tower, because then we change the whole direction and capitalize or.
Can't start a sentence with or.
Well, we're
You
dealing
can
with
just
the
take
fact-
out or and just make it the volume and clarity of the public testimony does not substantiate
Well, no, the point
Oh.
is that we're trying,
one or the other.
I was trying, yeah, I was one or the other. She's trying to capture verbal testimony, and of course, I'm talking, not writing, and so.
So
This has
maybe-
to, you're absolutely correct, you can't start a sentence with or,
Right.
but I effectively did, so. Well, put a semicolon.
We could put conversely,
Or you could make
put the
the,
word conversely in.
make the or
Put
a
a sem-
period.
Yeah,
What do what?
okay, put a semicolon
Semicolon.
Yep.
there.
And leave it
then
or.
Put or, I think, I mean, I said or because I wanted to give the idea that there's two choices.
Either or, right, right.
It's one or the other, right? That's what it says at the beginning, either and or, that's the construction,
Mhm.
right? Okay. Alrighty, so the main thing is that people understand what was said, and I think now that they can. Okay, go ahead, Sharon.
So should we insert the word either, however you want to say it, in that first sentence where it says, in order to violate this standard, it must either violate it to a noticeable degree, so we will go,
Well, okay.
no, it's
yeah.
not, doesn't belong there. So we will go
Well,
either with
okay,
the
excuse
volume
me,
and
then
clarity.
right in the sentence right below, it says which either. There's the either, okay?
Okay,
Okay, so I think,
we're good.
okay, go ahead,
I'm good for the rest of that page.
good. We're only-
I'm good for page 8.
Progress.
I know, we're making progress. Page 9, I only have one little tiny one.
Good,
The second bullet on the top of the page, it says which outweights, it should just be weighs, take the T out.
Which out?
Second bullet, yeah, which outweights, should strike the T.
take the T out.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
The next page, 3/4 of the way down the page where it says Chairman Gentile referred to McAllister's point. 1, 2, 3, the fourth line, desirable, and it is one, there should be the word of. The nation's busiest port cities, okay? Then,
Okay, in that same paragraph, second sentence up from the bottom, it says 3,000 or more, it should be 23,000
Right.
or more.
hadn't gotten there yet. The sentence right above that, there should be a period after the word over time, Pe- period, and then capitalize the I for in comparison, comma, New England studies which looked at recent sales. Okay? I know this is very boring to all of you.
You think you're bored.
We can all type it if we'd like.
Right, next page,
Mhm.
the paragraph the first big paragraph on the page, Chairman Gentile stated, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. At the very end of it, that line says Chairman Gentile, it should say stated that. The paragraph that starts with Schilling stated that if the cell tower were not da-da-da,
Yeah.
Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines down, where it says 9/11 comms.
Yeah.
Comms has 2 M's, COMMS. Of course not. And then 2 more lines down from that, it's there again.
It's there again, I know, I
That's it for that page. Page 12, underneath variance number 1, the second bullet underneath the motion, the character of the neighborhood will be,
Oh.
it should say markedly
Yeah.
instead of markedably.
Yeah, Marcus, yeah.
Oh, and then I have a question about the votes. We're showing 401. 1 would be an abstention. Nobody abstained. It should just say,
No, he had a nay.
right, so it should be 4-1 and then that's it.
No, I've been told not to do it that way.
Well, all the rest of them are that way.
Then
And
it
other,
would be 410.
yeah, then it would be 410 if you wanna leave,
4-1?
yeah. Cause it's always yays, nays, abstentions.
That's right.
Under variance number 2,
Yep.
in Chairman Gentile stated, go 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th line down that starts with the word issue.
Yep.
It says, the fall zone issue was an issue, strike that first issue,
Maybe the issue was the issue.
right? The next line down at the very end of it, I crossed it out, I think it was a period after the word difficult to operate on this, and there was something there. The last next to last line, if we,
Difficult to operate on this.
This,
Here, I
what-
took the R out, yeah.
yeah, okay, that's what it was
Yeah.
R. Page 13, in the paragraph that starts with Schilling asked, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lines down, it starts with, and the cell phone tower
Yep.
in this location is going to have. That's a double duplicate, so just take all those words out. From and all the way to have. Okay.
Anything that is high enough.
And the cell phone tower in this location is going to have. That's the word, those are the words at the beginning of the sentence.
Yeah.
Those all need to go away. Cause they're in the line right above it.
Where are you, Sharon?
Yeah, right
I
here.
know.
Right here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th line down, it starts with, and the cell phone bleh,
Tower.
in this location is going to have. Right, you leave the same effect, but take out, and the cell phone tower in this location is going to have. Because the line above it says, requires the variance from the fall zone is going to have the same effect.
Like, look at this one, what?
Yes, no, maybe?
Go ahead.
Yes?
I
You still
read-
don't see
read-
it?
Read the sentence as you have it finished.
He further stated that anything that is high enough to require the variance from the fall zone is going to have the same effect.
Right, she wants to.
Okay, yep, got you covered. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so the top of the next page, I don't understand that first paragraph almost at all. Chairman Gentile stated that one would argue in the opposite direction from what Schilling previously said, I got that part, that the existence of the cell phone tower, which requires the fall zone variance, and it is the existence of the cell phone tower, which to a marked degree, and so granting the variance for a fall zone, would be implying that the cell phone tower itself is not impacting the value of the property and not impacting the neighborhood. Got that last part of it? But the two sentences in between, the existence of the cell phone tower, which to a marked degree, and so granting the variance for a fall zone, I don't understand.
Yeah,
that.
well, hold on a second, yeah, I don't know why it seems like, when she does the AI version of this, they always screw up my sentences.
Oh, absolutely. You need to enunciate better, Drew. I'm kidding.
I'm trying to capture what it was that we were trying to say there.
Right.
Oh, I think I know where I was going with it. I'm not sure that this captured what I was saying, but what I was trying to argue is, well, if we grant the variance, I was asking the implication is, does that automatically mean that our argument against the,
Fall zone?
well, no, the argument, since granting it, would mean that, well, we didn't care whether or not it impacted property values, for example.
Ah,
So, but, I mean, we're not here to, shall we say, redebate the case.
Okay,
But
can-
what I was trying to say there is, now as I recall, that our discussion was, well, one might say, if one grants the variance, one is denying the fact that we just said it depresses property
okay.
values.
Well, how about if we take out everything? Leave the first line. Chairman Gentile stated that one would argue in the opposite direction for what Schilling previously said, that granting the variance for a fall zone would be implying that the cell phone tower itself is not impacting the value of the property.
That's the essence.
Okay, so
right
we'll
there.
take out the
That's-
line, the whole line that starts with the existence, and then the next line, phone tower, all the way up to
Is
the word granting.
granting, yeah. Yep, yeah, good, that
Okay.
captures the essence.
Yeah,
of it.
okay.
Right. Okay,
Couple paragraphs down, after bullet number 3, the paragraph that starts with Chairman Gentile stated that if we deny the variance, the last line says on to evaluate, it should be one, the word one.
This is a hard one to,
Okay, and then I have the same issue with the last paragraph. Chairman Gentile stated that in this case, hardship would be established if the uniqueness of this property for its purpose, and he further stated that hardship is a difficult one to doesn't make sense.
oh, yeah, well, that's, the issue there.
Take out for its purpose.
Yeah, okay, so we gotta straighten the sentence out. The point is that in the case of the cell tower, hardship is established on slightly different
Different,
grounds, right?
right.
So the sentence is screwed up, but the essence of it is there that,
How do we unscrew the sentence?
yeah, so hang on a second.
What is it
Oh, shoot.
I'm kind of trying to word it for you, Drew. What is it?
Well, the essence of it, the essence of it is, if we go down halfway through that paragraph,
My own little hazmat bag.
so if we pick up almost exactly in the middle, where it says, if the property, you see that, Sharon?
Yeah, if the property is not uniquely
uniquely suited for the purpose for which it is being applied for, then they do not establish hardship on this application for that point. Okay, that's the essence of that
Okay,
argument.
so we can take out
You
everything,
can take out all the gobbledygook in front of that.
and just leave Chairman Gentile stated.
That in this case,
That
if the property is not uniquely
Yeah.
suited for the purpose.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, that's it on that page. There's just a couple commas on the next page. So,
We're on 15, right?
yeah, I'm on page 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14th line down starts with hardship is that,
Yep.
comma. And she read aloud. Da da da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more lines down. It starts with question, which
Yep.
makes it different. Second sentence, she further stated, comma, is it such a large characteristic or a significant characteristic that it then said da-da, so,
Yep, gotcha.
comma. And then the same thing, variance number 2, the roll call vote, it should say 4-1-0. Page 16, variance number 3, third line from the bottom of that first paragraph, starts with would be no issue.
Yep.
If they said it is a mast, and instead of the word the, it should say they. That's all I have on that page. Page 17, 3/4 of the way down the page, Chairman Gentile asked that if putting a monopole here instead of a mast, that paragraph,
Mhm.
the next to last line, what our zoning ordinance currently calls for is not significant enough of a difference in order to make the word there, T-H-E-I-R, should be T-H-E-R-E. Page 18.
Yep.
After bullet 5, Chairman Gentile stated that in this case, the third line down, mast to a monopole, should strike the word represents and just put is uniquely advantageous. Under bullet 1, requiring a mast would represent a hardship to the applicant, just strike the word and. It should just say because of the reduction in capacity. Under variance 4, the paragraph that starts with Chairman Gentile stated that we are not addressing the question. 1, 2, third line down, that starts with buffer provided in the plan. It should say and none that is required instead of no. This page is,
Still on the same page?
okay?
You're on 9.
I'm on 19. So this first big paragraph, Chairman Gentile stated the board has established that it's a lot of words that don't have punctuation, so I tried to add some. On the third line down where it says alter the character of the neighborhood, period, strike the word and, make the capitalized. Visible from above the ridge. After the word ridge line on the next sentence or
Yeah.
the next line,
Yeah.
put a question mark, strike the word and, a capital T for there.
Yeah.
There's a difference of opinion, of course, on this matter. After the word matter at the end of the line, put a period. strike the first word in the next line, capitalize the S in some. 3/4 of the way through that line, where it says in this area is objectionable, I put a period, struck the word and capitalized the O in others. Others felt that it would be given the benefit to the public of the cell tower. Others felt that it would be given, yeah, I didn't know what that meant. Others felt that it would be given the benefit to the public of the cell tower. Is it supposed to be giving the benefit to the public?
What about just would be beneficial?
Beneficial to the public of the cell tower? What's the public of the cell tower?
I don't know what
I don't
makes
know.
sense in
The
that.
the
I
point
don't know
was
what
that the
makes
cell
sense in that
tower,
sentence.
the cell tower was benefit to the public, that was the point. I'm not sure how the wording,
How about others would benefit?
How about just crossing out the cell tower?
Right, benefit the public.
Benefit to the public.
Or that the cell tower would benefit the public. Others felt that the cell tower would benefit the public.
yeah, that was the essence of it.
Yeah.
That the benefit, what was it?
Others felt that the cell tower would benefit the public. And then, so now we don't have a cell tower. After public, put a period, capitalize the strikeout of the cell tower, and then capitalize the T on the minor imposition on people's visibility. Strike out that it just would not be a significant issue.
Yep.
The last line, the italicized line, public roads, recreation, says she further stated that this is visible, not visual.
This is what?
Visible. The next paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line down. The presence of this particular cell phone tower is objectionable, or it is not the case that there is a marked, M-A-R-K-E-D, not market. There could be a market change, but that's not what we were saying. Next paragraph. Third line, the question, it starts with the question. I struck over it already, so it says I think it says the questions, and it should strike the S.
Mhm.
The
And it-
question was.
The question,
was,
During.
no, it should say the question is, was it during the balloon test visible enough so it significantly impairs the sight line? So it should say the question is,
Yep.
comma, was it, during the balloon test visible enough so it significantly impairs? That's a terrible sentence. Okay, two more lines down, that's the line that starts with more on the 150 feet. All the way at the end of the line, it says, but, I think it says tall three.
It should be all three.
Yeah, it should be all three.
Yep.
The next line where it says all three of them, the 130, 150, it should say and 170. The next line down, where it says things back and forth, because, strike this is, it just says because our job as a zoning board of adjustment. Last paragraph, Chairman Gentile stated, we can bring forward the argument, not they can bring forward their argument, because we were bringing forward the argument, correct?
Right.
Okay. The next line after that, things that relate specifically to the height, the words that is can be struck. It just should say specifically to the height and changes to the neighborhood. Page 20, in the large paragraph, well, not the large paragraph, the bigger paragraph under 3, the line that starts with only feasible place for the desired service,
Yep.
strike the next word so. Okay, under 4, the last line in the paragraph that starts with Chairman Gentile stated, we come back to the same question. That last line says, drop in property values, which means that if we bring this also forward as follows. It's worded weird. There's a substantiation for a drop in property values, which means that if we also bring,
Inside that.
If we bring this forward as follows, take out the word also.
just take out the word also.
Yeah, just take out the word also.
Okay. And then in the first bullet, the Afuso study convincingly demonstrates that homes, it says with 2,400 feet of a cell tower, should be within.
Mhm.
Very last paragraph starts with Chairman Gentile stated that in this variance, comma, if the location is optimally uniquely suited for providing the service, comma, and we do not grant the variance, that a hardship is given the next, the end of that line. He further stated that they have argued that this location is not necessary and therefore not uniquely optimal. Who's they? Is it the public or was it?
Well, I think what we're referring to there, I mean,
The homeowner.
well, actually, it's kind of a summary of the whole thing at that point, further stated that.
The public, so that would be the
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
Okay.
Argued this
Well, I
location.
object to that.
You're, I'm sorry, we're only
I don't
trying.
care if you're sorry, you change, I mean, if you,
We're trying to establish.
I
what we
want a
said we-
copy of the draft minutes, please. I want a copy of the draft if you're changing that word. I
He
think
further
that's a
stated
fair
that-
request.
That's a fair request, but I don't understand
What's your
what you're
objection?
objecting to.
You're changing the word "they" to the public. I think, I'm not comfortable with that change.
Who's they?
I don't know, that's my point.
It's all of us. It's us.
But,
Well,
okay, this is
I-
not a public discussion.
I understand that, I want a
I will
copy of the
grant
draft.
you the chance to discuss that because you're the attorney representing.
I've said my piece. I want a copy of the draft, if you're gonna change that word from "they," which no one seems to know what it is, to the public.
So then we'll cover that.
Or you could leave it the way it
Just
is.
No,
leave it the way, just leave it the way it is.
Okay.
You know, because we're trying to establish is what we said in the meeting, right?
Right.
And we can go back to the television thing and see the actual, and if that's what it says, then that's what it says. Okay. Sharon,
And I actually, I fully understood that the they meant the public, but I wanted clarification, so,
Okay.
just to go on record for that. Next page. Rouse stated that King Pine has, it says and alternative setup, it should be an. The next line, put this tower in, period. And then strike the word and capitalize the H in he. Does not believe, okay. And then further down that line, in large part, period, strike the word and, capitalize the H in he. Believes by the board looking at the, believes that other alternatives. Okay, so the next paragraph, Chairman Gentile stated that, as we have said before, if that condition, as well as the second aspect of the hardship is as follows, which Chairman Gentile
Should be
read
a
aloud.
comment. Should be a comment after follows. And then after read aloud, comma,
And also stated, comma,
Yeah.
that if we do not establish hardship based on criteria, then it defaults to hardship only if this is the only location where this service can be provided. So, give it a C plus as a sentence. The proposed use is a reasonable one because either, given the less than optimal location for the stated purpose, comma, this use is not reasonable, but it says the proposed use is a reasonable one because above it.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out, one, what did we mean, but we also have to preserve what was said, right?
Correct.
So what we're trying to establish is the proposed use is a reasonable one because, let's see, given the less than optimal location for the stated purpose. Well, the point is, the first phrase
Using one against
is
the other.
simply a categorical phrase from the outline.
Ah, okay, right,
The
right, right.
second phrase, the bullet point is, given the less than
This is the
optimal
pro and
location
con.
for the stated purpose, this use is not reasonable. Okay,
Right.
so that's, the point
Or
is,
the provision of cell phone service to the additional service. So this is the pro and con piece of
right,
it.
this is the pro and con.
Is there a way to annotate the bold, the proposed use is a reasonable one because, to show that it comes from the variance wording, right?
Yeah.
From the 5 criteria.
Right. But, yeah, exactly, that's part of the criteria we use. This is, under that particular thing, there's a whole series of things.
Yeah.
No fair and substantial
Okay.
value, well, it's a reasonable, and so it's either it's unreasonable or it's reasonable, right? So I don't think that requires any. My
I
point-
would su-
My point is, if you're sitting there,
Cause.
if you're a judge reading this, he's
Yeah.
going to recognize these bold points as exactly the statement of what the criteria are.
Right.
Right, so
That's
it's
why I
either
bolded it.
reasonable or unreasonable.
So I
Okay.
would strike the word because. The proposed use is a reasonable one, and then underneath it, it says either, given the less than optimal.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's
to
not-
just strike the word because.
Yeah, that makes it clear.
I'm good with the rest of the page.
Mhm.
Doug McAllister.
You only have something else.
Page 22, I only have one.
No.
Top paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, where it starts with eliminate the only feasible land. 3/4 of the way through the line where it says variance requests are, strike the word are. Next page. 23, the same thing with the Afuso study, it should say within 2,400 feet. Two more lines down where it says base on distance, it should be based on distance from a cell tower. And then this using assessing, insert the word from more than 23,000 sales. Otherwise it says using assessing more than 23,000 sales. 3/4 of the way down the page where it says the proposed use is a reasonable one, strike the word because, and then it makes more sense. Page 24. I think this, we're on case 2313. After the public meeting notice, Chairman Gentile that the board is formally starting this case over. It should be stated. Under the conflict of interest paragraph, the third line says consistent series of arguments because these have been spread out all, strike the word all. It should just say spread out over many months. You got it?
Spread out, yep, there we go.
Okay. Under the waiver request piece, starts with Attorney Johnson, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines down. The ability to short-term rental should just be short-term rent your property.
He always says that, though. It's so weird. He says, always says short-term rental of your property.
How do you short-term rental?
I don't, he says it. It's weird.
Um, The first line of the next page, rehearing all relate to, strike the word had, should just say relate to granting. The big paragraph, Chairman Gentile stated the board. In the second line, Johnson stated that there is no wording, insert the word in the RSA. Third line from the bottom where it says Chairman Gentile reiterated, take out it is. Should just say that once again. The next paragraph, New London land use. On the third line down, somewhat limited before, at the very end of the line, strike the word and. Put a period after expand. And on the next line, capitalize he. On the line right underneath that, strike the first word or. One, two, three, 4 lines from the bottom of that paragraph that starts with reasonable that the ZBA conclude. It says non-conforming use is, it should just say non-conforming use beyond, strike the word is. In the last paragraph, in the italicized portion, I don't know if this is an exact quote, but it's the line that starts with established practice for a property to that homes which have been occasionally rented. Yeah, I don't know what the to that homes. Established practice for a property.
Take out to that homes.
Yeah,
Which have been, yeah.
yeah, take out to that homes.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second.
Uh,
To that, hold on, let's read the sentence. An accessory use cannot become their primary use, which further justifies the limitation on the usage to the previously established practice for a property. So that homes which have been occasionally rented by owners on a short-term basis, in which have the status and a pre-existing non-conforming use may not be turned into a full-time, short-term rental property. So it's so that, not to.
So that, not to that. That makes more sense. 26. The paragraph that starts Attorney Johnson, it says, asked if the board had heard on any of the above arguments. I'm thinking the word heard anything, or the board had heard on any of the above arguments.
Fine.
Maybe strike the word on. Had heard any of the above arguments.
Yeah, that might make more sense.
Yeah. The third from the bottom starts with point is that we are the constitutional safety valve.
Yep.
It says safety valve being the public being overrun by unnecessary regulations.
Yep.
I don't know that the being the public being overrun makes sense.
Yeah, no, that, no, that, yeah, that, somehow, that wording's been screwed up. So the
Yeah.
point is that we are the constitutional safety valve, preventing the public from being overrun by unnecessary regulations.
Instead of being, preventing.
Yeah. From preventing the public from.
From, and add the word from.
Yeah.
Yeah, from being overrun by unnecessary regulations. The next little paragraph, or the beginning line of the paragraph, where it starts with constitutional arguments, and he outlined, it should say it for the board as follows. in the italicized paragraphs, the big one, the second one, the town recognizes that owners have rights, and the three primary rights is, it should, instead of the, it should say to live on their property, strike the after their. That's it on that page. Page 27, second paragraph. Then next to last line that starts with property. It then says, Chairman Gentile stated that the board was not trying, it should say to be ornery. And we're trying to allow for the fact that, and then it stops. There's supposed to be something after the fact that.
No, I think there wasn't, I think it's supposed to stop right there.
Board was not trying to be ornery, and we're trying to allow for the fact.
Well, if, I can't remember the exact words we said there, but, well, let's see, if the notes of the meeting are not, just a second, let me try to recapture what I mean.
The above was a very short summary response in terms of constitutional, that pre-exists or not.
Oh, okay. At that point, what we said was we were trying to allow for the fact that the calculation of the days could be imprecise. Remember, we were having that discussion, we were discussing how did we come to the 15%?
Right.
And we were simply trying to make an allowance for the imprecision.
Imprecision of the,
Of
of
those
the
kinds of
presented
estimates.
evidence.
Right, yeah, and so we weren't, yeah, we were trying,
We were trying to allow for the fact that,
those kinds of calculations might be imprecise. That's the essence of what we said there. So if it was lost in the
translation.
translation of the copy or whatever.
I do remember that.
Okay. anything else?
28.
Yep.
On the paragraph that starts with discussion, the next line down, strike to make a. Oh, wait, at the end of the line before that, strike out the wanted.
So
The
how's
nec-
that?
the-
Hold on a second, I don't see how.
Attorney Johnson stated he understood the process but wanted to make one point on a comment on privileges and immunities dormant commerce clause. That one of the factors that the ZBA, that word should be may be, the third line down,
Yep.
where it starts with the ZBA, should be two words, may be instead of maybe. No, you have to leave in the instead, when you took out the to make a comment, leave in the a.
Yeah, so that sentence actually should, but the process, but wanted to make, and then drop down
But wanted to make,
a comment on the privileges and immunities clause, so that one point on the wanted to make comes out.
oh, you want the whole, okay,
Well, yeah, he wanted to make a comment on the privileges and immunities dormant
right.
and dormant and privileges and immunities and dormant commerce clause, two different things there.
There's an and between immunities and dormant.
Yeah.
At the very end of that paragraph, yeah, misspelled. The next paragraph, Attorney Johnson, it should say asked instead of ask. On the there's 2 lines down, it says response, and then the board will do everything they can to be as consistent, not do. The next line where it says Attorney Johnson, that for efficiency, it should say stated or said.
Yep.
Strike the word that. Next line down, they are all substantially similar as all appeals were granted. Couple more lines down, it starts with is on an appeal, and had, it says not history, it should say no history.
Yep.
Next line down, stated that for, it should insert the word the interest of efficiency. Next page, I got nothing. 29. 30, I have nothing.
Wait a minute.
We're getting there, 31 out of 34. Where it says public meeting notice, she received, it's the 3rd line, she received, it should say an abutter notice, back, as, it should say the mailing address in the Avatar tax program.
As
She received an abutter notice back as the mailing notice in the Avatar tax program. Next line down all the way at the end, instead of then, THEN, it should be than, THAN. It says different address then. It should be different address than. Okay?
Yep.
At the very bottom, motion by Gentile, seconded by Schilling to deny, no, the next line, no evidence of a rental after 2013. Is that the correct date? And then it says more specifically in the year prior to the posting of the, no, that's right, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that's
that's
right.
correct, yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
because the
confused
point was,
myself.
it went way back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I confused myself with that. Okay. Page 33. Paragraph that starts with Lemieux stated that the last part of the article, he is requesting a variance for this, for, yeah, Lemieux stated that the last part of the article, he is requesting a variance for,
Comma.
for,
It
and
is.
what,
the plot plan.
what article? Last part of the article.
He called it an article. I just do what they say. I don't make up.
Makes sense if you just put a comma after 4.
yeah, I mean, the trouble is he used,
I think he meant variance, but he said article.
Well, he said article he is requesting a variance for.
I don't, yeah.
well, he could have said item or
Well, that's part
dimension.
of the-
I'm just saying, my point is he could have said, but he
Application?
didn't, so we used
You can't
article.
change it.
Yeah, right.
Is he talking about his application? Is that what we remember? He was talking about his application?
It was.
Well, that's
Mhm.
part of the application he is
Well, he used the word article.
Again,
That's-
I'm
yeah.
leaving it, but
Yeah,
I'm just seeing
right.
if it makes sense to me when we put the word application in there. Is the plot plan and what he has presented as certified plot plan for the septic? Okay, next line down, it says, that starts with measurements he did himself. All the way down, where it says it says skilled ruler, it should be scaled, SCALED. That's it on that page, and I have nothing on 34. Hallelujah, right?
I move we accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I am sorry to apologize to the public for putting you through that. Normally, we do that at the end of the meeting,
When
but
you're all gone.
we have to have these minutes approved in order to take the next step. The next step will be to consider the motion for a rehearing on case 2408. This is not a public hearing, it's a meeting, so we won't take any public comment, but we are only considering in this for the sake of the public as well as the board, we are only considering whether to rehear this case. We are not reconsidering any of the merits of the case as to whether we, agree with it, disagree with it, whatever. So, if the board is ready, Sharon, you got your stuff ready for this particular thing?
I got my stuff.
Okay, so I will say that I have worked with Attorney Sullivan to assist us in the wording of this letter. Formally, of course, as a board, this has been these either or things, right? I've gone through the appeal and drafted a response to it, and so we'll take it in 3 steps. Well, 4 steps actually, because the first thing is we'll review what's required for us to consider rehearing. Okay, so pursuant to RSA 677, paragraph 2, the ZBA generally grants a rehearing when the grounds for the motion identify, 1, an error in procedure or law, or when a new evidence is presented that was not available at the time of the public hearing. Thirdly, the ZBA may grant a rehearing should it find grounds in its own review of the case within the 30-day appeal period independently of those submitted by the applicant. So the last thing we'll do tonight is I'll ask the board if in your review of this case you feel there's a reason that we should rehear it, even if it has nothing to do with the grounds that the applicant has submitted. Okay? So I've gone over that, and so the first step, this is a summary, this is suggested wording, you don't have to accept this wording, right? This is a summary of the board's review of the grounds set forth requesting a rehearing in this above case. Okay, the applicant has set forth in his motion, point 2, 8 subpoints in which he contests various findings of fact identified by the ZBA in its original notice of decision. These findings were made after carefully reviewing the testimony and information submitted in multiple public hearings. This information included conflicting evidence which required the ZBA to resolve. Mr. Benson's written testimony is part of the record, and Attorney Springer reviewed testimony submitted only in writing on April 28th after this testimony was submitted. Though the applicant disagrees with the board's findings, there is no evidence presented which supports an error in either law or procedure, nor is there new evidence presented. Now that's one option. Second option is...
Could you repeat that?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
The other option is that, as you've reviewed these things, you disagree with one of those points, and you think we should rehear. Okay, I'm just saying, this is,
These are our options.
Yes, these are our options, okay, on the first step. So, with regard to point 2, I'll read that paragraph again. The applicant has set forth in his motion, point 2, 8 subpoints in which he contests various findings of fact identified by the ZBA in its original notice of decision. I'm not reviewing in detail all 8 of those subpoints, only selecting a couple. These findings were made after carefully reviewing testimony and information submitted in multiple public hearings. This information included conflicting evidence which required the ZBA to resolve. For example, Mr. Benson's written testimony is a part of the record, and Attorney Springer reviewed that testimony submitted only in writing on April 28th, after the testimony was submitted. Though the applicant disagrees with the board's findings, there is no evidence presented which supports an error in either law or procedure, nor is there new evidence presented. Now, for the sake of the board, have you reviewed, do you want to review those points? His 8 points.
Sure.
I think it's important to, so that
Yes.
we can discuss them if we need to.
Okay. Findings of fact set forth in a notice of decision are incorrect or legally erroneous. First one is denial. The denials to a great extent rely upon the proposed Vertex Tower in Freedom, New Hampshire. See finding number 4, Vertex site does not currently exist and may never be built. A few other points to that. Point B, the decision states that the coverage gap extends approximately 7 miles along Route 153. In fact, the gap in coverage along Route 53 is only one portion of a significant gap in coverage, as made clear by GMR's radio frequency report. Point C, in addition, the RF information for the Vertex site, which the board reviewed, does not include any analysis of the coverage provided by the Vertex site from any height except the absolute top spot on that proposed tower. Thus, the lack of coverage from the Vertex site over the entire gap in coverage will only become more pronounced as the lower a carrier is positioned on the Vertex tower. Further, no information is provided regarding the RF coverage, 1900 megahertz band, so on and so forth, technical details. Point D, the decision states that the Madison zoning ordinance requires that the planning board review neither whether this site is the only feasible location to provide the needed coverage, which has not yet been done. Finding number 7, there is no legal requirement that in order to obtain its requested variances, GMR first has to obtain planning board approval. Further, neither the town's zoning ordinance nor the site plan regulations contain a requirement that an applicant must prove that a site is the only feasible location. Also, it's undisputed that the proposed GMR location is allowed as a permitted pursuant to Article 11.6.3A of the ordinance. If it is the ZBA's position that the only way an applicant can truly know whether a tower is allowed is by applying to the planning board, then this position is clearly illegal and erroneous. We address that question later in the letter. Regarding the findings 8 and 10, neither Dr. Kent Chamberlain nor Colton Dow are radio frequency engineers, nor have they ever designed site and network, nor did they submit any materials such as RF plots supporting their allegations that established, in the words of the finding number 8, a proposed tower does not make sense in terms of providing desired coverage. A few other comments there. Point F, regarding finding number 9, a careful review of February, March, and April ZBA shows that Mr. Benson never spoke at a hearing and never suggested his property as an alternative at a hearing. ZBA never discussed that property or even identified its location in any of those hearings. The first time GMR ever heard the name Benson was at the May hearing after public comment ended and the hearing was closed. At that time, there was a short statement to the effect that the Benson property might be an alternative location, but again, that property was never identified. That was just addressed. The proposed tower, point G, proposed tower which has been reduced to 130 feet will have extremely limited visual impact, if any, as shown by the visual study of the balloon test. Finding 12 essentially requires a cell tower to be invisible. Point I, the University of Southern Alabama study finding 15 is not a real estate appraisal. The study makes the incredible assertion that if a cell tower project cannot be heard or seen, it can still devalue real estate values. If this finding is adopted by the ZBA, in this case, it makes it virtually impossible for any cell tower project in the future to receive any variance. That was point 2. So I will reread our response to point 2. The applicant has set forth 8 subpoints in which he contests various findings of fact identified by the ZBA in its original notice of decision. These findings were made after carefully reviewing the testimony and information submitted in multiple public hearings. This information included conflicting evidence which required the ZBA to resolve. Mr. Benson's written testimony is a part of the record, and Attorney Springer reviewed the testimony submitted only in writing on April 28th, which was after Mr. Benson's testimony was submitted. Though the applicant disagrees with the board's findings, there is no evidence presented which supports an error in either law or practice, nor is there new evidence presented. So, at least as far as point 2 is concerned, does the board feel comfortable with this statement that I'm suggesting, or do you find that there's grounds for rehearing? You don't have to answer that question right this instant, but I'll give you a second to think about it. We'll go on to the other points, and then we'll consider the whole issue here. Okay, so Third major point, the height variance was denied for 3 reasons. The property values are negatively affected, the character of the neighborhood will be markedly impacted, and the location is not required to provide. Point 4, regarding the property value issue, it was error for the ZBA to reject actual real estate appraisal, where the appraisers actually spoke with buyers and/or buyers' agents who stated that a visible cell tower had no impact on sale prices. Rather, the ZBA relied on the University of Southern Alabama study in addition to the study finding that a cell tower which cannot be heard or seen can somehow impact property values. Point 5, regarding the character of the neighborhood, the ordinance allows a cell tower in this location. GMR's location is not in a residential neighborhood, rather is located in a commercial use property. The host property is large commercial ski area which upon part of the sentence.
Which upon information, I believe.
Yeah, which upon information and belief generates a large amount of traffic, people, and other traits associated with large and successful ski area. Nothing associated with a slight increase in the permitted height of a cell tower will exacerbate those traits. Point 6, regarding the service to Route 153, again, Vertex site does not exist and may never exist. If it is built, the significant gap in coverage remains. Further, as stated above, no consideration was given to lower heights in the Vertex tower nor in the 1900 megahertz band. And Route 153 is only one part of the coverage object for the GMR project. 7, regarding the denial of the variance regarding visibility above the ridge line from a public road, the decision fails to identify what ridge line the tower would raise above. GMR's attorney had requested during one of the hearings that the ZBA was going to apply this requirement, that the ZBA specifically identify which ridge line was at issue, but the decision fails to do that. GMR submitted an exhibit regarding the ridge lines, copy of which attached, which shows that GMR tower will not exceed any of the ridge lines, especially when reduced to height of 130 feet. And there's some additional details there.
Scenic roads.
The decision states that the project would significantly impact the rural nature of the area and would not create an unnecessary hardship because the location is not optimal. Again, the location is a permitted use under the ordinance, and therefore it is a legal error for the ZBA to deny the application on these bases. Further, the decision states that there will be negative impact on property values for reasons there will be no impact. Finally, the decision states that the location is not necessary to provide this service. Again, if this is a reference to the Vertex site, that does not exist and may never. For all the foregoing reasons, the ZBA should rehear and reconsider the denials. So I'll read the rest of the potential response. The applicant has similarly presented in points 3 through 8 a series of arguments that put forth the reasons why the applicant disagrees with the board's findings but provides no new evidence, nor is there a definitive argument that an error of law or procedure was committed. The board resolved conflicting testimony related to property values and made its findings which are supported by the record. The applicant claims that there is no legal basis under the ordinance for a requirement that there is no other feasible location. When considering a variance request, the ZBA is required to consider the spirit and intent of the ordinance. Article 6.1, Section D, the ordinance states the rural and environmental qualities are to be preserved. The intent and goal of this ordinance is to permit wireless telecommunications facilities in the town of Madison and to permit construction of new towers only where all other reasonable opportunities have been exhausted. As noted in the decision, there were other reasonable opportunities presented which have not been exhausted. In the case of point 7, the applicant points out that the specific ridge which is visible is not identified in the notice of decision. The location of the proposed tower is nevertheless clear in the existing record in the form of the minutes of the meeting, the balloon test report, the public testimony, the locations from which the balloons at 130, 150, 170 feet are visible are clear in the record in the balloon test on page photos 4B and 8B, and the minutes of the meeting of April 16th on page 2 and May 21st on page 7 and 19, as well as public testimony, such as Mr. Colton Dowell's documentation of March 5th, 2025. So the board has a basis to support the board's findings on this variance request. Or you find the arguments for the rehearing as stated by the applicant sound. Again, we're not debating the merits of the case, we're not actually debating whether or not, you know, you agree with our findings or not. At this point, we're deciding whether or not the grounds presented represent substantial disagreement with our findings, or whether they actually uncover the serious error on our part. And I do have permission to say from our attorney, he does not believe there is
Grounds.
grounds
Findings.
as a clear and indisputable error in fact or law. The board is free, however, to decide that we need to rehear this case. And I can ask now, apart from the grounds that have been presented by the applicant, do you, any of you, see a reason why, on our own independent valuation of the case, that we should rehear the case? In other words, if you're dissatisfied in any way with our case and you think we've made an error or something inconsistent, now's the time to say it.
No.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, okay.
no, I believe that there's disagreement with regard to the applicant on our
Decision.
our decision, but I don't find that our decision has legal errors in it or erroneous.
Okay, so apart from maybe occasional grammatical change or something like that, are you comfortable with the comments that I've made in terms of? Okay, then if that's the case, then we can move to deny the rehearing, which would allow him the option to move ahead to any, whatever the next level of court would be appropriate in this case. Again,
I don't see a need to read the case.
okay, all right, so then let's,
I move that we deny the request to rehear, the motion for rehearing, because I find there is no clear or indisputable evidence of an error or legal,
In our decision.
what was it, what you said?
In our decision.
In our
There's
decision.
no error.
No, you're right.
let me restate what I heard
Yeah.
coming out of it. There is no indisputable evidence of legal,
I had no clear or indisputable evidence.
okay, no clear or indisputable evidence of an error in law,
Right.
or, how do we say that, or procedure. And no new evidence defined as something that was
Right.
not available during the time of the public hearing.
Right.
And the new evidence presented. Okay, so then, motion to deny the rehearing because there is no clear and indisputable evidence of an error in law or procedure, and there's no new evidence presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we have denied the rehearing, and as a matter of record, you of course are free to see request a copy of the completed minutes. You could have, I don't suppose there's any reason you can't have a copy of the draft minutes if you wish them, and this letter will come out in the next 24
Okay,
hours.
thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Okay, that completes case 2408.
Thank you. Love you, Marnie.
The hearing is denied.
Good, how are you?
Tired.
Tired.
Bye-bye now.
Good night.
Travel safe.
Thank you. Copy of the,
You're the only one who went to English school. You need to read better.
So what would be his next step? He'll take us to court. He'll take us to court.
Oh, yeah, that's what they said.
And we talked about it, but that's the way it's been done forever.
Can't win it.
I have no idea how it'll come out. I don't
Yeah, I have no idea.
report, but-
Yeah, I have given up a long time ago trying to figure out what judges are gonna do,
That's
so.
a good point, yeah.
Who knows?
Well, the reality is,
do you use,
You did your job.
if they go to federal court, and the federal court
But in this case.
considers that we've restricted or required, then,
we use,
granted.
water?
but,
But I don't think you have.
well, obviously, we don't think we
This
have.
was, these minutes.
Let's see.
I mean, we are allowed to apply our zoning ordinance inside the guidelines of the Telecommunications Act.
Yeah.
I don't think we violated that, they of course feel that we have.
You violated everything. That's what they think.
Dropped another one.
So,
Yeah, I'm not sure which letter they're sending.
That we're sending?
Yeah, there's just
That will be the letter that denies the motion for
It's hard
review.
to say.
Did he read like two versions of that one?
Well, one was if we had approved
They
the
didn't give
motion
us a
for
standard
review.
by
I see.
which
And the other
to
part was
evaluate
if we
there's
denied
coverage.
the
For
motion
example,
for
in a rural
hearing.
area, is
He
it
will
important
send the
that
one that
every
denies the
school
Right,
motion.
that makes sense.
Right.
Exactly.
Or is it really
See if I
only
can
important
take
that
a
the
picture
major
of that, too.
roadways have coverage? We said in the meeting,
Those
we're
are his
going to take
notes,
the
I don't
fact
think,
that
yeah.
major
I don't think
roadways
it's gonna, you have to
need
wait till that
coverage. Do they
letter
have
gets
coverage or don't they
drafted.
have coverage?
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I don't know, 'cause I think,
you
I
gotta
mean,
tell
if you
it.
push it, we can debate it later,
Yeah,
but
so you can see.
kind of the RTK law allows for no.
Well, have a good night.
Well, take care. Thanks for coming.
Damon wants to take a picture of your notes.
Well, no, I didn't say the notes, I said, it sounded like you had a draft letter
You had to put up.
to go to the applicant.
When it's finished and when it's a part of the public record, you could request a copy, but I can't give it to you before we signed it. Are you talking about what I read tonight?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give that to you tonight. Because we need to have.
I mean, I don't
can't
want-
say that, I can't say that I haven't put typos in here or anything else,
right.
and
I mean, I don't want like something that's wrong, so I'd rather get the,
Right.
and I'm not in a super hurry, so.
well,
I
if,
mean-
when it's signed, if you wanna request a copy of the official version, then
When do
part of the
you,
public record.
when do you sign it?
Well, we have 5 working days to complete it, and I don't know when Kate will finish this particular item, but we have to have it done in 5 days,
Okay,
the 5 working days.
okay, I'm probably in a more hurry than that, I'll just try to figure it out from what you said.
Well, I can't say it won't be done before that, but I mean, obviously, I can't give you a raw copy of it.
And it's available on
You can
YouTube.
go back and watch,
No, I got it recorded too, yeah.
Yeah, you could
go
get
back,
that.
that way you can pause it.
No, I know, I got the whole thing.
And actually, I think YouTube will give you a transcript
Yeah.
of the
Really?
meeting, yeah.
It does.
No,
Yeah.
no, I can make transcripts. too,
Yeah, and
so,
that's okay, but
That's
you
fine.
understand that you're giving you a copy of
Right,
something that I can't guarantee I haven't
Work in
mistyped
progress.
or, yeah.
right, but what if you misspoke?
Well, that's just it, what if I misspoke, yeah, so I wanna make sure you can have a copy of that. You can take off the transcript, or you can wait
Alright.
till Kate has it finished.
Alright, I'll do what I can.
I'm not trying to be ornery, Damon, yeah. Okay, so now we've got a couple other things we need to do tonight. We've got
Yay.
another case, 2 more cases. We won't take mine first, even though it's technically on the,
What a nice guy.
Oh,
so
We'll
do
let
we-
these other nice people go first.
yeah, right.
So we'll do 2505.
Are you here for 2505?
That's your one.
Are you the applicant?
Sorry, you had to sit there.
Are you, oh, Mark, you're the applicant,
He's
okay.
the agent, right?
By the way, express my condolences once again, you're a year
Yes.
out from the loss of Jake, and Frankly, we've also missed seeing him here.
Yeah.
For the record, my name's Mark McConkey. I'm here representing the applicant, Samuel Ciro.
Okay, but we need to open the case
Oh, sure, I'm
officially, so Kate, why don't you go ahead and,
Hold on.
let me pull up a thing here and we'll go ahead and get it open.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Variance request by Mark McConkey, agent for Single Trial, property located at 14 Road, tax map 109, lot 121, article 5, section 5.9C of the zoning board to permit the house to be 69.5 feet from the mean high water mark of Deepwater Pond, where 75 feet is required. Also to permit the deck to be 62.79 feet from the mean high water mark of Deepwater Pond, where 75 is required. And article 5, section 5.9E of the zoning board to permit the house to be 55.55 feet from the center line of the roadway, where 65 feet is required. Certifieds went out on June 25th, posted in all the various places, post office and everything, on June 25th. Posted in the Conway Daily Sun on June 28th, then I got all my mailings back. So I'm good.
Okay, so, as you see, we only have a 4-member board tonight. Are you comfortable?
I'm fine with that, sir.
Okay. The conflict of interest. George, do you have any conflict of interest? No?
No.
No.
No, okay. Is there, sorry, we've got a,
Certified plot
we've
plan?
got certified plot plan, right? So
Close enough.
is this certified?
It's the
What's
septic plan, isn't it? That,
It's the exact same plan as last time.
yeah. Only now in a readable format. Big, I can see it.
Excuse me, is this, this is, we've gone through this before.
This is
this
not
a
the
cer-
certified,
No,
it's a
it's not
certified
certified.
septic plan.
This is not a certified plan, but,
Correct.
There is a certification by Paul King.
But it's a septic plan as opposed to
So,
a
well, the
plot plan.
technicalities, do we need to, I don't have a problem accepting this, but the question is, from a procedural perspective, does this require a waiver? Because there's no engineer's stamp on it, or is it? Does your stamp count as a certified, or is this a construction,
I'm not a,
not a certified?
Chairman, I'm not, the plan is drawn with the aid of Paul King, who is the certified plot plan.
Yeah, well, okay, why don't we, I
Do
mean.
you have to swear him in first? No, because we haven't even gotten to that
No,
part.
we haven't opened, gotten that far. My question is,
I move that we accept this plan in
Yeah,
lieu of a
just-
certified plot plan.
right, the waiver request, we just approve the waiver request. Second, I second it, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, so whether it's required or not, we've covered our bases,
I
okay?
Great.
would just like to say, I have an objection to that. I will mention it.
Well, it's open.
You have to, you have to wait till we.
You have to wait till we have a
I
public hearing.
understand.
Okay. Regional impact, does anyone think that there's regional impact on this?
No.
Okay, alrighty. Okay, so everyone intending to speak to the appeal needs to be sworn in, so Mr. McConkey, and you are, what's
Your name?
again?
My wife, Paul Regazio.
Okay, and do you
And
wish to
Alma
speak as well?
Alma Regazio.
Do you wish to speak as well?
Probably not, but maybe.
Okay, well then would you all stand and raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you give pertaining to this case will be truthful under the penalty of perjury?
I do.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so, Mr. McConkey, you may present your case, and then we will, I'm sorry,
We don't open the case first.
that's what we're doing.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry.
I don't think you opened the case. You got him to, you sworn him in, but you haven't actually opened the case technically.
Well, that's what we're doing. We went through all these steps,
Okay.
conflict of interest, public.
Is there a
interest, right?
declaration that case 2505 is
Okay,
now open?
it's open.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go.
For the
Sorry.
record.
I-
Shortcut it.
Okay, that's covered. Okay, Mr. McConkey?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, board members. I've already stated, I'm here, the record representing the applicant. In May 22nd of '23, variance was requested by myself and my son for Samuel Zero, property located 14 Loop Road, tax map 109, lot 109, map 109, lot 109, from Article 5, Section 59C, 59E of the zoning ordinance, permit the house to be 69.54 feet from mean high water mark of P Portage Pond, where there's 75 feet required. Also to permit a deck to be 62.79 from the mean high water mark of P Portage Pond, where 75 feet is required. And the house is to be 55.55 feet from the center line of the roadway, where 65 is required. The variance was granted with conditions: deck be no higher than the level of the first floor, and the deck may not be enclosed or covered, which would make it impermeable. After receiving the variance, he secured the septic construction approval and the necessary shoreland permits from NHDS. Both of those permits are still invalid. Sam did not act on this town within the required 2-year period, and it's sunset. So I'm here on the request of the applicant to present the same application once again. I will state that after I've read through my plan, the plot is drawn from Point's boundary plan of Madison for Samuel by Paul King, which was another enclosure, and dated November 22nd. Septic design, which I did, and the approval number is stated, and Thaddeus Thorne surveys have for the same said property. Iron pins are found on all 4 corners of the property. The distances are shown on the plan, and the gentleman simply did not act in time to move forward. I don't remember the reason at this point in time. 2 years has come and gone, and we would like to apply using the same standard as we did previously. Happy to answer any questions.
You said the shoreline permit and all that other stuff, the NHDS permit, did they also sunset, or are they?
No, they are,
They're
the
still
septic
valid.
is good for 4 years, so there's
Yeah.
still 2 years on that. And the shoreland has a 5-year provision,
So there's no problem with them?
No problem
Okay,
at
so
all.
it's a strictly, okay.
Our variant, yeah.
Yeah, if they gain favor, he could act within those time periods, and all of those permits would be active.
Mhm. Questions to Mr. McConkey from the board?
So there is nothing about this new application, 2505, that differs from the previous application?
There is not, madam.
Mhm. Okay, did you wish to speak to this?
Yes, yeah, I have a problem because,
Up to the
again, my
microphone,
name is Paul
Yeah,
McCarthy.
come up to the microphone for the sake of the television and state your name and location, and then make your comments.
My name is Paul Regazio, and my wife is with me, Elma Regazio. We're the trustees of the Eagles Rest Trust, which is the owner, the abutting property. The trust is the owner of the abutting property to 14 Little Loop.
Okay, so which one is that, 14 you say?
Yeah, we're on 10 Little Loop.
They're to the
We're
right.
the east, we're to the west side of it.
Okay, so, okay.
The next one,
The-
Next
yeah,
one.
they're on the
abutting,
septic side.
Yep.
Yeah, so the
Gotcha.
abutting property on the west side, okay, towards Little Peach.
Mhm.
Okay, the abutting property originally is now almost 1 full acre, and this is a result of our combining 3 original lots where only, and now there's only 1 house on what was originally could have been 3 houses.
Mm-hmm.
Important fact here too is the abutting property on the other side, the east side, is also owned by the Sheros. So that's an important fact I think you should be aware of.
That's 122,
Yeah,
And the 16, yeah.
121.
Yeah.
121
May I
and
look at
122.
because there's,
Okay,
because
so
again,
go ahead and make your case on it.
because again, as I said, I have 2 major problems. I'm not certain what that plan is, because back the original the original request by Mr. McGonigal was back in 2023, was case number 2303. And the original submission did not comply with the 75-foot setback for the house. Okay, this was
From the lake shore.
from the lake shore, okay? And then I had suggested at the time that they move the house 4 feet or 5 feet, tilt it a little bit, and they would comply with the 75-foot setback from the water. Now, the presentation I got, or the memo I got says it's 69 feet, so again, I'm not certain which plan he has given you.
Well, we have this plan here.
Yeah, so
Well, there's two distances. One is the corner of the house and the other one is the corner of the deck.
yeah, okay.
Okay,
Can
so.
I just see this?
Yeah, you may.
Because again, as I said, the original presentation was in April, which didn't comply with the 75-foot. I suggested they move the house 4 feet and would comply with it. The memo I got from you says you're not complying with the 75 feet, so I don't know.
Well, they
Okay,
were
so-
given a variance. We had
Okay,
a
so
notice of
again-
decision on
You need to go
23.
back to the
What's
microphone.
confusing?
You need to go back to the microphone.
Yeah.
What's confusing is that the letter we got from the town says that, and I think Mr. McGonigal said that the house was 69 feet from the water. And now this plan says it's 75 feet from the water. So again, I'm gonna question the facts.
No. It says 75 feet is required.
I understand 75 feet is required. Let me just,
Right, and the house is to be 69.54 feet from the mean height, 62.79 is the
Is the deck.
deck.
And
Yeah.
69 point is the house.
69.54 is the house.
and that was not approved.
That was approved.
I have a
Well,
copy
let's look
of
at
the
the-
minutes.
And Kate, do you have
The
the?
notice of the decision is on the back of this, yeah. It's on the very back page.
Mark provided all that with.
I mean, I have a copy of.
Zoning
the-
ordinance to permit the house to be 69.54 feet from mean high water mark of P Porridge Pond, where 75 feet is required.
That's not what
That's what the notice of decision says,
I
sir.
know that's what's confusing. Okay, here is the board meeting where it talks about being 75 feet. I highlighted, so there's some confusion. That's what's confusing me. The letter I got said 69 feet.
Correct.
What
That's what
actually
we
was approved was when the house was moved back 75 feet.
Okay, so for the record, what it says is acting chairman Jacob Martin stated let's see, I'll get down to the agent for San Luis Shore referred the board to the plan and revisions to the application and stated that they no longer require a variance for the house to the water as they are now 75 feet and they have rotated the house 20 degrees so it's along the zoning envelope with the channel coming through and also managed to keep the septic tank on that side of the house by rotating it and maintaining the 5 feet off the house so this meets otherwise water ordinance restrictions of 25 feet. McConkey further stated that they added a drip line trench to the house in the front and the back. Stated that he believes the revisions have satisfied the board and Mr. Vergazio. So Martin asked if it was an elevated platform and so on and so forth. So, okay, so those are the minutes of the May 17th, 2023 meeting. I apparently was not there because Jake was,
Right.
In the notice.
so, okay, so let's just clarify that. Okay, so there was an original application which asked for 69.54 feet, right? Then there was a discussion, so Mr. McConkey, can you enlighten us on that? Have we returned the original application or did we what was the,
I don't have the answer for that.
This-
to be honest with you,
This
I
plan,
have 2303.
Kate's got,
I've got everything.
I brought 2303 with me.
okay, I don't have my notes for 23.
So,
this plan has the house 76 feet.
Yeah,
well, my file, Drew.
yeah, Mr. McConkey, come here for a moment and just clarify whether, as Mr. McAllister pointed out, we've got this line here,
Low line
75
there,
feet,
correct.
which seems to indicate that this reflects the adjustment. And so you've got two houses here.
I know.
So my question is, which one then are we actually applying?
Show you what I calculated. You got 64 feet to the corner of the deck, and the deck is another 12 feet. So that makes this 76.6 feet.
Well, it depends on exactly how you measure it at the closest point, but 75 feet in any event, this is a 75-foot line,
Right.
and it's just inside that. So what we're looking at here is obviously you've rotated the house here, so are we applying for this house or this house? I mean, Mr. Grazio has a point, is that you apparently,
This,
so let's, so from April 19th, 2023, go ahead.
this line here that you're considering is a light line, where this one is a heavy line.
Right.
So the heavy line has to take precedence over the lighter one.
The heavy line is the adjustment after the first hearing to try
Get it
and
back.
satisfy the gentleman's
Right,
request.
so,
Right.
so
So the dark blue line,
The dark blue line.
as
has
opposed to
take-
the light purple line,
Exactly.
where the light purple line is offset, but it's the dark blue line
It's offset even more,
that's, yeah, it's sort of squared up to the,
yes.
to the
Yeah, so
channel.
we're in a bit of an awkward
We
situation.
can come back with another plan that's cleaner for you. and
I actually, the reality, well, here's
We made the
the,
change.
yeah, so actually, see, you guys can sit down, so that.
Well,
okay, so
this
let's-
is expired, so it's sort of, if these were wrong numbers, then
It's
it's
irrelevant.
irrelevant.
Right, so if, the only issue is that we issued a notification for a request, so since we're relaxing the reality with respect to what's the impact on the other side, because if we are tightening the connection to the road, for example, does that cause a problem? I'm just asking procedurally, do we have to go back and actually
Looks like it's-
notice a different set of dimensions, or can we just operate off the plan here?
Trying to figure out which dimension is which.
yeah,
Yeah, see, I'm confused. The notice said, that I received in the mail, so reasonable here, said 69 feet. I said, wait a minute, that plan was not approved. Mr. McConnell came back
I believe the notice is
a month
incorrect.
later and adjusted to 75 feet.
Sounds like the
So
notice is
that's the
incorrect.
plan I have,
Right.
whereas
Yeah.
it seems like 69 feet was what he's requesting, which is not right. So that's what the confusion is.
Well, and I think then that this probably just, I'm sorry, this probably just copied basically from this, the old set. And these are no longer valid because you did move the house after you
right,
had
yeah,
done
so-
this. So we're looking at then, the house is, as Mr. McAllister said, probably 75 to 76 feet off of the water, but I believe it's then closer to Little Loop Drive.
Right, which in and itself, given that situation, we haven't evaluated it, but that's not necessarily likely to be a problem because of how.
May I make
This
a comment?
conforms with the other houses in the neighborhood and potentially.
When we made the change, when the change was made to comply with the 75 feet from the water,
Yeah,
I realized that pushed the house closer to the road.
yeah.
I absolved that. I accepted that.
Well, right, I mean, this is one of those, how do you put it? our board accepts the fact that lots that were subdivided before 1987 will retain the right to be able to be reasonably used. right?
Yeah, no,
So-
I understand that. I
Yes, and so
understand.
we will look with as much favor as possible without predicting an outcome, on those kinds of things. Really, the question then is, Mr. McConkey, would you like for us to continue this case and come back with
With a cleaner,
a cleaner?
Well, if I could just take a moment.
Yes, go ahead.
I almost think the notice, the plan we're asking to be 75 feet from the water. And the plan shows the darker lined home to be 75 feet.
Yes,
And then it's looking for a variance on the deck, which is in red on the left-hand side of the plan, to 64.660 feet, which is what this plan represents. And it's 64.60 to the front of the deck, the darker line of the deck, as the house got turned. So those two things are correct. The road frontage from the road is 49.90 feet. And that's what's represented by the plan. So I apologize for being tired. But the plan, I believe, is true and correct in what we
Yes,
asked
it's-
for on the second hearing. I think the decision may have
Yeah, I
may
think the
have been-
submission
may-
was wrong.
And I think if that was to be, and carry the same conditions that the folks had asked for, which are the two conditions that follow, I think this would be correct and true.
the issue is this is not correct, the application's not correct, because the application requests 62.79 feet,
Yeah, see, that's
and the
what.
55.55 feet from the center line
We
of the
can
road.
continue and bring back an application
Yeah.
that marries the plan. I just don't know that we'll see you next month. I think I'm out of state next month, but if we could ask to be continued, I'd appreciate it.
Well, I have one other.
yes,
Again, it looks like the application is wrong. The plans are correct, 75 feet back from the water.
Right.
The other objection, that solves my first objection. The second objection is the deck is within the 75 feet setback, and I don't agree with that. Back 20 years ago, I know you people weren't here, I was there, we asked for an extension of our deck within 10 feet, within the 75 foot, and we were denied that. That's going back to 2000.
2005.
2005, on our property, we had asked for an extension of the deck within the 75-foot section. And I was hoping to get that accepted. And again, I was saying, be nice to me, because I put 3 lots together, give me a little relief, for 10 feet within the water, and they denied me. So, I was denied. So I'm saying why, and again, what they suggested at the time, don't put a deck. And our deck would have only been a foot above the ground, it wouldn't have been, built up afterwards. They suggested that we put a patio in. So I'm saying that this deck should also be denied, and that a patio would be an alternative.
If I could respond.
we appreciate your comments. Each case is considered individually, and we will consider it based on the merits of the case. Variances don't have absolute precedence, don't set precedence for other cases, so we'll take your objection into consideration, but we will look at the whole picture.
Have you ever come back for another exception? Have you ever tried again?
No, we did not.
To a new board?
We were
Well,
more or less told at the time, no, you can't do it.
Well, probably at the time you couldn't, I don't know.
Well, there are some technicalities, that is, you can't come back twice for exactly the same.
Thing.
You only get one
One.
chance for a variance. If you are denied it, then you can't come back and ask again. If you substantially change the nature of the request, dimensions are different,
I was
whatever.
gonna say, yeah, change the size of the deck a bit.
Something like that, then that can be reconsidered.
I just
But
feel
I
like,
can't produce, well, I understand.
I feel like if we had to do it, everybody else on the lake needs to do the same thing. If it's 75 feet, then everybody else needs to do that.
And use a patio. Patio is.
Patio's fine, we love it.
Yeah, we actually put the patio in.
What is the
with-
technical difference
Right.
between a patio and a deck?
It still
Patio's
encroaches.
impervious, right?
No, it doesn't, it's just rock on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't encroach.
Well, we were told the patio was an alternative.
Well, patio may be an alternative to a 1 foot height deck, where it's not an alternative to a deck that may be 8
Yeah,
feet
no,
tall.
This is, we only had a
And then,
1 foot deck.
the other thing that I want you to know is, we do not want the driveway for this house to be next to our land. We do not want it on the left side of the land,
It's
next to
already-
our house.
There's already a driveway, shared driveway on the other side, so that we do not want to have two driveways entrances to that property.
The driveway is on this side.
I
So here, it's not on this side.
And we don't want it on that
we
side.
Well,
want-
they're not proposing one, so I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay,
would
Yeah,
they
they're not
need a-
proposing one on that side at all.
okay.
that's where
Would
the
they
septic
need,
tank
would
is.
they need a variance to put a driveway on?
Depending on how far from the property line it would be, they would. But I can't see them putting, I mean, I'm gonna speak for Mr. McConkey and the Shiros, but I can't see you putting a driveway over the top of your leach field.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
They have no intention of putting a driveway on that side.
Well, all I'm saying is, if, whatever your decision is, can that be one of the requirements, is that no additional driveway?
I don't know that we can put a
Well, we
condition on
can- yeah,
something
we
they haven't
can't
asked
We
for.
can't preemptively
Yeah,
make it, you know, we can approve an existing plan with certain conditions that relate to those things that are specifically requested, but, um, yeah, I mean, we
Can we
can't.
just say that that's the only driveway to that property?
I don't think we can do that.
You can't do it because it hasn't been requested?
Right, and there could be another, they could widen the driveway, they could put a second entrance right smack in the middle to get to the front of the house, so there are other things that they could do, and then preemptively saying you can't put another driveway in is tantamount to saying you can't put a house up. That
Well,
it
and-
infringes on their rights.
Well, and driveways in general are not, shall we say, only to the extent that there's a dimensional question,
Right.
is it a zoning board issue? Driveways are a matter of either the town or the state, depending on the road's status.
Yeah.
That is, when I say the town, that's another, the planning division, code enforcement, et cetera, et cetera. So we can't address the question of another driveway. However, what's been proposed here at the moment is that we continue this case so that we can match the intended design with the actual.
Case.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, I mean.
Yeah, that's a reasonable request, and I think Mr. McConkey and the owner agreed to this adjustment earlier so that you're 75 feet away. They have the right to request the deck inside the 75 feet as well. I can't predict how we're gonna come out with the final decision, but, formally. But at the end of the day, we'll hear the case. when
I mean, we
Mr.
can
McConkey
come
brings
back.
it
We can come back next month if that's necessary, like. depending on
September,
what the
it'll
date
probably
is.
be 2 months, right?
Mr. McConkey
Asking
suggests
for
it
2
might be,
months.
we'll decide tonight when we want to rehear it, because,
And you'll get notice of that. correct?
well, actually, if we decide tonight, it doesn't have to be renoticed, except that we have, since we're changing the dimensions.
It's changing, so it would be renoticed.
It would
I
be
renotice.
renoticed, yeah.
I would
Oh, yeah,
renotice
'cause
it.
he's gonna
Just
change
for
the-
safety
yeah.
sakes reasons, I would renotice it.
Yeah, will be renoticed anyway, but it's, so, do you have a preference, Mr. McConkey?
Do you know what the date of the next month would be, please?
Yes, that would be August 13th, is that what it is?
No, it's the next-
August
The next
20th.
month,
20th.
week.
13th would be a problem for me.
Yeah, so it'd be August 20th,
20th.
and then the next one is September 17th.
Yep.
Say that again, August what?
August 20th, September 17th.
August 20th is a problem for us.
I believe so.
Alright, so
What about the floors?
We can do September 15th.
September
17th, you mean?
17th.
17th, Wednesday.
Oh, that would be better
Wednesdays,
with
we
the
do
right
them
day.
Wednesdays.
Yep, that's fine.
Get it to me
Okay.
before the cutoff time, Mark,
They're
and
not
then
gonna be
we'll
up
work
here.
out.
I think we mirrored this application we sent in by
Yeah.
working off of what the variance was approved for.
So
That's
is
why
it the
that's.
20th?
Well, that's probably the old
It was 2 years
paperwork.
ago.
Well, the problem, the old,
She said the 20th of August.
if this is the decision letter, it's written incorrectly,
Right.
so,
Yeah, and that's what we mirrored our new application.
Well, and it probably was written from
That's
well,
fine.
let's
the
get,
request.
yeah, well, let's get our expectation right down, so Mr. McConkey knows, it's, what we're looking at is 49.9, well, it's on the thing, 49.90 to the road, center of the road, right, for the
Yep.
house. And, I'm just gonna call it 76 feet or 75. because-
75 feet's what we called to that, sir.
Yes.
Plan, so.
And then you,
75
and
feet
then
from
you
the
wanted
house to the water.
64.6 for the deck.
We want
Yeah, that's-
64.6 for the deck, yes.
Right, okay, so
And-
now,
And then from the front drive or right away, however it's measured in this town, 49.9 feet.
Right, to the center of the
Those are
road.
the variances we needed.
right, so those are the variances you need, and as you review the plan,
We'd
you'll
be
submit them, even
Yeah.
if they're a little bit different than that, you're still submitting, that's your application. Okay, so I move that we continue this case until 6 PM on September 17th, here at the.
Second,
Any-
all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll continue this
Will we
case.
get another letter
What day
from that?
is September?
September 17th.
17th, Wednesday, the
The
third Wednesday.
ZBA meetings are always the third Wednesday of the month.
Hold on, I was giving Mark
All
the
right.
date of the cutoff.
All right, we can, so the new notice will be sent to us.
Yeah, you should get a new notice, yeah, with the
And-
proper
I
dimensions.
would like to be, if Mr. McGonigal can send me the plan that you have, I think that's the one that I have that was accepted, but there may be changes, so I'm just saying, if I could get a copy.
You can come into the town office and ask Kate to copy you. Kate, can you give Mr. Regazio a copy of the plan
Yep.
when it's submitted?
I can.
Yeah.
So, we gotta get it to me by August 26th. You know,
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I just wanna make sure you have the dates, you don't.
Yep, thank you.
And, Mr. Regazio, it's Mr. McConkey.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Gonna say, right.
That's the best thing I've been called in a long time.
McGonigal?
Thank you for your assistance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, it's nice to see you, Mark.
Mr. Regazio, is this your, I think this is yours. Or is this yours?
Ken, that was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice to see you, Mark.
Great to be seen, thank you.
Come again.
Come hang out with us.
This makes
Okay,
up cause
so-
me a lot of anguish, because one thing said one thing, and the other thing, which I know was approved, so it's.
We'll get it sorted out, no worries.
Oh,
We'll get it sorted out.
worries.
And I'll get a copy of the plan,
Yep.
if you can send me a copy of the plan.
I'll
Okay.
let us sit.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
Take care, bud.
Good night. Okay, somehow or
Now we're
another-
on to you.
Who's got
Oh,
the
we-
agenda?
No, you don't really
got-
close the case, do we?
No, we're
Because it's
set. Okay,
continued.
so now we get back to. So we've done the-
2504.
We've done everything but you.
23,
Is there
14,
anything
and
left in
20.
administration, Kate, besides the approval of minutes?
No.
So,
Okay,
ex-
then we'll look at my case. What I will do is I will present my case.
You can't, oh, you're gonna, yeah.
He's gonna, you have to go
I
sit
gotta
over
come
there.
around.
I'm sorry,
I gotta
I'm
come
trying to
around.
take over.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I have a question before we do this.
Yeah.
I have paperwork in my folder, in my envelope, on case 14 and 23, 17.
Yeah.
Why do we have that?
Because Bill Dempster brought that to the last meeting, so I just put it in your envelope
Okay.
for, in
I
case
called
you-
her with the same thing. I
In
said,
case you get, he brought
Yeah.
that, and I didn't wanna not, you guys that, so in case something comes back and it gets remanded from the court back to you guys, you have it.
Okay.
That's the only reason why, I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't mean to confuse the apple cart.
I'm like, they're not on.
I just try to make sure I get
Yeah.
everything that, I get a lot of
Let's
paper.
see, I was
to do.
confused too.
Okay, so I'm coming in on this side, my name's
Okay.
Joe Gentile, I'll let you open the case and then
Okay.
and I'm happy with the 3-member board. Or should I be happy with the 3-member board?
I think
I think you know how we work.
this could be a stickler, but
It could be a stickler, and when, yeah, go ahead, I'll be quiet now.
I gotta get my little checklist thing for that.
I've got an extra one if you want.
I
And
probably
I
need
do
one.
have your copy of the suggested changes, I'm gonna look at that and see.
Okay. Yeah, I need it. Oh, no, I put,
Oh, you need one?
wait, no, I put a bunch of them in here. I thought, yep, here, I got one. I have extra ones. Okay. Kate, would you read the application, please? Case 2504.
Variance request from Drew Gentile, agent for the Gentile family, revocable trust of 2023, 89 Conway Road, tax map 228, lot 33, sub lot 002, from Article 5, Section 5.5 of the zoning ordinance, permit an overall height of 37 feet where 36 feet is the standard. I got all my mailings, everything was done, it went out, certifieds went out on June 5th. Everything was posted on June 5th, and the Conway Daily Sun on June 7th.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, we will poll for any conflict of interest.
No,
no.
No. Do we need, I'm trying to pull your application. 2504, there we go. Sorry, give me a second. And we have, this is a certified plot plan?
Yeah.
I looked at it before, yeah. Okay, so there's no waiver request for a certified plot plan. That's not applicable. And is there any regional impact, George?
No.
no.
No. Okay. So I declare case 2504 open. And is there anyone here who would like to present the case? I'll swear you in, Drew. Oh, I don't have that wording.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, do you swear that the testimony that you give pertaining to this case will be truthful under penalty of perjury?
I do.
All right. So, the floor is yours.
Okay, so, now, I brought this plan in
State
for
your name
Kate
and
to
your
copy, but
address.
she could, what's that?
State your name.
Oh,
and
my name is Drew Gentile, and I'm making this case for 2504. This is the actual plot plan with the house on it. That didn't show up because she went and got from Ron Briggs a copy to print for you, so, but the point is that this shows you that this is where the house is on the plot, okay? And that's only important because the only reason why we have this request is because the ground slopes and it results in
A foot.
right, so here's the basic situation. The structure of the house, including the chimney, yes.
Microphone, please.
Yeah, the structure of the house, including the chimney, is 34.5 feet high. But because the unique characteristic of the property is it has a very high water table, 24 inches, the architect said, I'm gonna put the house 18 inches above grade at the high end, and then it slopes off another 18 inches, so at the high end, the floor is 18 inches above grade, and down here, the floor is 36 inches above grade, which means I have to add 9 inches to the 18, to the 34.5, which puts me at 36 feet 9 inches above grade. Okay, so that's why the request is there. Okay, and the request then actually only applies to the chimney because it's a chimney that goes 2 feet above the ridge line. So when you're thinking about that, why would you not want to do a 36-foot, or exceed 36 feet? And it's because you don't want to block someone's view, you don't want to restrict someone's light. The chimney and the house are gonna be 300 feet from Conway Road. There are no other structures anywhere near. It's only a 10-inch chimney, which is affected by this. And that's basically the structure. Now, you might ask the question, why not just move the chimney down? And the answer is because the chimney installer says it's gonna be a stainless steel flue. And if you move it down the thing, you're gonna subject it to the potential of being ripped off by snow load. It would require guy wires, which would be unsightly, et cetera, et cetera. So the chimney man strongly recommends that we leave the chimney as close to the ridge line as he can get it, which will put it 2 feet above the top of the ridge line, which is where we come up with the 36 feet when you add the 18 inches above grade.
And it's a stainless steel flue, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's gonna be stainless steel.
And how wide?
Well, I don't know exactly, it's gonna be the standard 12-inch.
That's what I'm not, yeah, that's all.
12-inch piping.
12-inch.
Standard, yeah, standard stainless.
Stainless steel, with a cap on the top.
With a cap on the top, yeah, yeah. So when the cap is 2 feet above ridge line.
Yep,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I got you, yep.
Yeah, you get the picture. So that's
Yeah.
that's basically it. And now I don't have a denial of a building permit because if you read the procedure, carefully,
Yeah.
all it says is you have to be able to justify the requested variance, and you have a copy of the architect's drawing there that shows the floor being between 18 inches and 36 inches. So if you have any other questions, fine. And if you prefer when your deliberation that I leave the room, that's fine. Do you want me to stay?
So you-
You can say, we don't make other people leave the room
No,
when
I
we're
know.
deliberating.
No, that's fine.
You can say.
So you came here because you know the procedures rather than go and get a building permit and get it denied, then coming here?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And if you look at the application, I actually wrote out all the findings of fact
Yeah,
for you,
you
so you
did.
don't have to establish, and you can add to them, of course, if you want, but,
Making this easy, huh?
yeah, I'm trying to make it easy. And I, try
Not
to
your first-
answer the 5 criteria.
Not your first rodeo.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go back to my seat where my stuff is. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Gentile?
Looked at this pretty well.
This is gonna be your house, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this is a second house on the current lot.
right, yeah, it's actually zoned for a family cluster with two lots.
Never heard that before, but it's,
A family cluster.
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Right.
Yeah, and that's all taken care of. I mean,
Yeah,
that's all-
yeah, that's just interesting, isn't it?
Right, and I didn't mention it, but I will say that the only dimensional thing that's a question here is the height, because in a family cluster, the only dimension that regarding the building lot is the one to the outside, 25 feet from the outside property line.
Mm-hmm.
There's, once the lot lines around the family building lots,
Mhm.
there's no dimensional requirements there.
Okay.
And that's noted in your notes there where that is.
Any questions?
I'm happy with that. I know the property, I go by it almost every day.
I go by it almost every day as well.
I walked in the back of the property one day, not knowing it, that was your, all of a sudden I said, we're in Drew's backyard. We took the trail from over by off of where the library and town hall
Oh, yeah,
is.
go down there behind the
Yeah.
stuff, yeah,
And
right,
then-
yeah, you end up on a place, you come down behind one of the old, the place with the arena.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, and I try to keep the path down there maintained so people wanna walk on it.
I know, it's a nice path.
Yeah.
What's right next to you on that?
When you say right next to me, if you're looking at the house in Conway Road,
Yeah.
immediately to the left is Bob King's place, which they just sold.
Oh.
And then
Then
immediately,
there's
then there's the church. There's a
yeah,
little.
the
there's a little-
comms thing.
Yeah, there's a comms thing
like
there,
a-
right? And on the other side is, there's 2 or 3 late neighbors, you know, with
Yeah.
a variety of different houses on the right-hand side.
I didn't realize that was Bob King's place.
I didn't either.
Senior, right?
Senior.
Senior.
Yeah, Bob King Jr. lives in Freedom?
Tamworth,
Tamworth.
Where?
Tamworth, right up on
Tamworth.
Cleveland
Tamworth,
Mill Road.
oh,
Yeah.
but he did live in Freedom at one point.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my daughter knows Jesse, so they play with chickens together. I don't know.
I got to play with the chickens the other day when I came over. They all came over to me, they all like, and they were digging their holes, and they all came running over to me. I think they thought I had trees or something.
Okay, do we have
All right.
any, do we wanna have a motion to close the public?
Sure, I'll move that
Yeah.
we close the public hearing.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing is closed. We'll discuss, I guess, findings of fact. Okay. So, one is that the structure is to be built on a registered family cluster. Two. The proposed, number two, the proposed structure meets all
Variances.
setback
Requirements.
and frontage requirements.
Mhm.
I want to say something about the property being sloped.
Property is slightly sloped towards the south, is it, I think?
Property sloped, oh, you have the,
A lot slopes down to the south.
Yeah.
slopes to
Yeah,
the
south.
By about one.
south.
Slightly.
Slightly, that's it, slightly,
Slightly sloped to the south.
Property
Yeah.
slopes to the,
gotcha.
okay, south. Seasonal high water requires
Table,
the subfloor, I can just say seasonal high water,
okay.
requires the subfloor to be 18 inches above grade at the higher end. To eliminate, you do make this easy for me. Possibility of water intrusion. Slopes to the south at 1 foot of the architect's estimate of actual drawing. 3 feet below subfloor at the limit, better. Number 5 is, I don't know that I need to go through all of the information that's in that item number 7 that talks about 1.5 below subfloor on the high end to 3 below subfloor on the low end. I think we just, the house, the structure height will be 36 feet 9 inches.
Well,
What?
I think structure, I think, is the wrong word. I think the word you should say is the chimney height.
Well, I'm not getting to the chimney height
But
yet.
that's what the 36 feet is, not the structure.
No, the house
It's
will be
causing-
36 feet 9 inches where 36 is required. There are no other structures near enough.
And it's the chimney that's causing that.
And then the chimney
But she said 36 feet where 30 is required.
where 36 is required. So it's a,
36 where 36 is required.
well, it's,
Then the chimney is what, the 2 feet of chimney is what's the issue, it's not that the house is 36 where 36 is required.
alright. I need to make sure that we're using the right numbers in the right places. So the structure, including the chimney, is 34.5 feet tall and will be 1.5 feet above the ground level at the highest point, therefore making it 35.
So it's,
That's 36
so it's,
even.
but it's it's the chimney, not the structure.
I understand that. This says including the chimney. The zoning ordinance requires the average calculation height so that the average height of the structure above ground level would be 36.75. How do we say that?
Didn't he write it down for you already?
He did, but I'm not sure I'm reading it in the correct place. You can not say anything and come point to it. You guys have it, help me here.
I don't have it with me.
Uh,
I brought the wrong one.
Does he need a copy of this?
Does he need a copy?
Copy of
Yeah, I mean, I've got it at home, I just didn't bring it with me. I thought I read the whole thing all, so I understood the whole thing. Semantics
Okay,
just.
so this, here, maybe this item 4. No, because that's lower than the maximum height of 36 feet. Structure height from subfloor to roof peak is 32.5 without the chimney, with the required chimney clearance beyond the roof of 2 feet. The structure height is 34.5.
Where 36 is required,
Right, so it makes it a foot and a half
So-
lower than the allowed maximum of 36 feet.
so you don't need a variance.
But
No, are we talking to include the foundation?
I can't read that.
The house is only gonna be 1 foot.
So, in the middle,
That's all
it's
it
9
is.
inches.
Slope is 1 foot for the entire structure.
And one end slopes like that.
Well, it's the north. No, you're right, the slope is
I can't read it.
626 to 623.
Yeah,
That's 3 feet.
3 feet on one end. and one-
625 it says here.
Yeah. on the other.
620, all right. So it's 3 feet in.
I mean, I understand the premise that the house is on a slope. So technically, because it's on a slope and the house has to be level,
It helps.
right, it helps, so things aren't rolling around, that on one side, because of where the chimney is, you're not relocating the entire chimney structure to the other side of the house. It's gonna be on that particular side. Then from grade to the top of the house or the top of the chimney, you exceed the height requirement by 1 foot.
9 inches to be exact.
Yeah, 9 inches to be exact. We're gonna round to 1 foot, just in case they have to do some excavation or something, right? So, the structure height including the chimney and that's due to the sloping of the grade. Can I reopen this so that he can make comments and help us?
Sure.
I motion that we reopen the public part of this.
Sounds good to me, that's fine.
Second?
Seconding.
Second?
Oh, sure.
Somebody toss?
George? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Help me here.
It's very simple. Like you said, the structure itself, pure structural, including the chimney, it just is only 34 and a half.
Right.
But it's sitting on a sloped spot, and the high end of the house, where it's closest to the ground, is 18 inches above the ground, right? So that's 36 feet. But because the zoning ordinance requires you to measure the distance as the average of the slope,
Oh,
it drops 1 foot and 25. So
Right.
basically, you're dropping 18 inches over the course
The
of the
average.
width of the house.
all right, yeah.
So you add 9 inches. Even though on the north end of the house, it meets the 36
I get you
feet.
now, all right.
It, technically, it's a technical thing because,
I understand.
because the ground falls away.
Oh,
You
I
have to
see.
say it actually is
Yeah,
36 feet,
I
9
understand
inches.
now,
Okay.
And that's the sort of thing that Bob, of course, would notice and want corrected, so I figured we'll just get ahead of it, and I told him about it, he said, fine, so.
Okay.
The existing well here, is that Bob King's well that you got listed down here that's off your property?
Yeah, the one on the south side,
Yeah,
yeah, the one on the north side of the other house is mine.
yeah.
Okay, so how about if I say average, the structure height will be 36 9 inches, including the chimney, due to the average slope of the
There
property.
you go.
36
There you
9
go.
inches, what was it?
Right,
Due to-
including the chimney,
Yep.
due to the average slope of the property.
Good.
Perfect. And you have all that in clear text anyway.
Yeah, it's all in here. Okay, do we need any other findings of fact?
Should we say that it's, the house is going to be on a lot that is zoned as, what did you call it, Drew? I forget
Oh,
the-
that was number one, structures to be built on a registered family
Oh, okay.
cluster.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Then the proposed structure meets all setback and frontage requirements. The property slopes to the south.
Slightly
Seasonal high water.
Slightly slopes to the south.
Oh, you're right,
Slightly,
property
Yep, I have slightly.
slightly.
I said it 3 times, I got it.
Slightly slopes slopes to the south. Seasonal high water requires the subfloor to be 18 inches above grade at the higher end to eliminate possibility of water intrusion.
Yep.
Structure height will be 36 feet 9 inches, including the chimney, due to the average slope of the property.
Yep.
I don't know, do we need anything else?
No.
We need to close the hearing again.
No, I know. I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right, so we reclosed the public
Yep,
hearing.
gotcha.
All right, so given those findings of fact, would you like to discuss? We're gonna run them through the ringer, or are we gonna?
I
It's a foot.
I move that we approve this.
But you have to do the hardship stuff, so the 5 criteria, do you want me to
Um,
use what he has
Yes.
here, under the criteria for assessing the request? Or do you have something different?
Let's read through them. Hardship, special conditions of the property that distinguish it from other properties. It's unusually high water table, results in recommending building the house slightly higher above ground, which results in the increased above ground level, resulting in a need for a variance. No fair relationship between the public purpose of the ordinance's application. Home is a normal sized New England colonial. Criteria for assessing the request
Oh,
under
I lost
hardship
you,
B.
sorry.
I'm in B.
Yeah, I got you, right there, I
I'm
see
just
it.
reading
Yep,
fa-
which is
reading
the structure
fast.
alone. Yeah, gotcha.
It will in no way obstruct a view or restrict light to any other structure. Only to 1 foot of chimney height, and it's chimney height, so it's not entire house, it's chimney height. So it's only this 12 inch.
12 inches,
Right.
yes.
Home is not different than other houses in the neighborhood. Oh. Grade level required, chimney to meet a 36-foot would require it be mounted 11 feet from the ridge, exposing it to risk from snow sliding off the roof. Yes. C, the use is reasonable. It's a 2-story New England colonial with lower pitch, 12 to 18 instead of 12 to 10. Oh, 12 to 8, not 18. New England colonial, so it has the lower profile option already selected. Presence of wood stove for backup heating is highly desirable as well as normal for the neighborhood. The variance is not public to the contrary, and not contrary to the public interest. Spirit of the ordinance is observed. Maintains the character of the neighborhood. Substantial justice is done because it prevents the applicant from having the expense of redesigning a normally proportioned 2-story house to meet a standard that results in no gain to the public. Okay. Is there anything else we want to add to that, or no? Okay, then I suggest that we carry forward those criteria for assessing the request from the application. Okay. Variance criteria. Okay, now would you like to make a motion? I make a motion that we move to approve the request for application of a 1-foot variance on height from
The average.
36 foot, the required 36 feet to 37 feet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Can you read that back to make sure the motion makes sense?
Okay, move to approve,
Move to approve.
yeah, application of a 1-foot variance on height from the required 36 feet to the required 37.
Not
To an
required.
actual
I mean,
37 feet.
Actual,
Yeah.
actual 37 feet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Required actual, okay. 37.
There's only one required, so
Yep,
it should be,
one oh, there's two.
where
There's two.
36 feet, the 36 feet is
Okay,
required
I see
to an
variance for
actual.
height from the required 36 feet to the actual.
The actual 37 feet.
Gotcha, I had two required.
Yeah, I thought I heard a second
I
one.
did,
Okay,
just that one.
anyone want a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Okay,
Both
yeah.
can
They
second.
both seconded. All in favor?
I'll do it.
Aye.
All right.
Aye. It's approved. So now I have to read the. Where's my? Any person affected has a right to appeal the board's decision. If one wishes to appeal, one must act within 30 days of the date on this notice, day 1 being the day after the date of decision. The necessary first step before any appeal may be taken to a higher court is to apply to the Board of Adjustment for a rehearing. The motion for rehearing must set forth all the grounds on which you will base your appeal. See New Hampshire Statutes RSA Chapter 677 for details.
Don't close anything yet, I
No.
did want to tell you, I gave you all the rules of procedure updated in your packets.
Yes.
And I have, I've already done it to post them online. One other thing of business I meant to tell you today, I got a letter from Attorney Johnson that, he is going to.
Well, can I at least close this
Oh, I'm
case?
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were done.
I am, but I didn't close the case.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cut you off, I'm sorry. I have things on my brain, if I don't get them off,
That's all right. I move to close case 2504.
I'm sorry, Sharon.
Second.
To cut in.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now we can bring Drew back.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's, I had to close his case so we could bring him back.
We need the chocolate.
And he needed chocolate. And thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, so I got an email today from Attorney Johnson that case number 2314, he has filed a motion for rehearing. So we're gonna have to hear this before the August meeting. So we're gonna have to have a, because it's the 30
Which one is
days.
2314?
That was Moynihan, that was the one where Sharon actually said, senior, Moynihan, senior, junior,
Right.
the third, the fifth, or whatever.
Were you
Yes.
on that? You were on
He
that?
was, yeah.
You were zooming.
So he's filed a motion for rehearing.
Sweet.
I received it today via email. He's got to FedEx the rate, which he doesn't, going forward, he doesn't have to according to rules of procedure, but I just let him do it anyway, because he said he was doing
Well,
it. So we're gonna have to.
Has he filed a motion, or does he just, do we have it?
I have it right here, but I haven't given it out to anybody, because I just got it this afternoon, around 3 o'clock.
Do we want to just decide right now?
Can we?
I don't know if you can, because I haven't noticed it, so you can't. I had to still
Oh,
notice it
I see,
24
yeah.
hours in advance, so no, you can't. So that's what I'm getting at, is we're gonna have to have a special meeting before
The
the
August
August
meeting.
meeting, because there's not enough time within the 30 days.
Can we do a Zoom meeting?
No.
I
No.
wouldn't do that by
We can,
Zoom.
we can have people, if you have a quorum in the room.
You have to have a quorum in the room.
In the room, yeah.
And then you have to vote to allow the person to.
Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So we're gonna have to figure out a time to
August.
meet before then, before the.
Oh, okay, so what is it, it was filed today, which is what, the 16th, which
Yeah.
means,
The 30 days. And I have to notice it 24 hours in advance, but I'm not worried about that.
So we would have to do this by the 15th of August.
And our meeting is the 20th.
Our meeting is the 20th.
I know.
And I'm out of town.
well, this is not a complicated case. We could do a rehearing during working hours with people who are available.
Yeah, like we did
Yeah,
in May, we did that.
Yeah, so
I
I
came
think
in
it's
on
a
a
simple-
Friday and we
that'd
met
be the
here on
simple-
Friday morning.
yeah. And there is another issue, and that is George is signing off. And we want to thank George for his many years of helpful service. We're going to miss you,
I don't know how
George.
helpful, but I've enjoyed ZBA. I came on it knowing nothing, and I'm leaving
Knowing
knowing
nothing.
a lot in terms of what you guys do. But how you do it is amazes me. And,
Well, you do it too.
well, in my sort of way, but I've never felt a comfort level, like I said to Kate. I've been on so many things. I'm a good manager of things like the food pantry, and I've been a manager all my life, but this is a different ball of wax. And, you know, like I say, I admire what you guys and how you can come up with decisions that, great. And plus, we wanna travel more. I'm getting older.
I get that.
Yeah, so, I hope, and like I said that to Drew, I gotta believe there are some people out there that are gonna.
Step up.
Step up.
And I told you, you gotta find them before you leave.
Well, I've got a neighbor.
He's been trying.
You know, by the way,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with George.
No,
Just,
no.
All right.
That's
I
not
asked him,
funny.
I asked him if I could.
Well,
Can I go with you?
Jennifer, she was a great, find. I don't even know how she came to.
I think she came to a meeting about something that was going on and then
Jennifer,
decided.
no, she came in the town hall and asked me. And I said, oh, okay, yep. And I also got her partner in on the planning board. So they're both on
Yeah.
boards.
Well, I'm
I
hoping
ask people when they come in the town hall. Are you a resident, have you been here for a year or more, would you like to be on the board?
Yeah, you mentioned you might have
Ask
some.
people about the ABC.
I've asked a
didn't
couple
know
of
the
people,
ABC.
I haven't gotten
Try
any
that.
answers back
Right.
yet.
So,
Alright.
okay, so we gotta find a date then.
Right.
Yeah, so there's two alternatives. One is you can just send us 3 or 4 dates and, but only include one evening date maybe. Like I said, you're available during the day.
I'm retired, so yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what I mean,
available.
and you're retired too, so let's plan, this is probably going to be a 20-minute meeting at the most, right? Because
Can we get it done before the end of this month? Cause my August is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, well, what about Monday or Tuesday next week in the morning? Or,
Well, we need to give her time to notice people and do all that
well, I
kind
know,
of stuff.
that's what I
right?
mean, so she needs, we could do it next week, some morning next week,
We could do it any day next week except Thursday.
So, in the morning,
Well, it doesn't have to be in the morning, it could be in the
Yes.
afternoon.
I am in chemo all next week,
Oh, okay.
and
Well, but it's Jennifer back,
and I
we
leave
only
town
need
at
3.
2 o'clock.
Jennifer is in the UK, so I don't know when she's coming back. She'll be here for the August meeting, but I don't know.
Well, maybe George could slip in for 15
Well,
minutes.
okay, yeah, you just,
I mean,
yes,
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you,
thank
George.
you. I
yes.
mean,
We can do it, if you wanna do it, like on Friday morning on the 25th, I'll come in, like we did before. I came in, I'm right next door. It's not like I'm far away. I
Yeah.
can walk.
Okay.
And you're up the street and you're
Yeah,
up
but
the
I
street.
hate to make you come in on a day that you're not supposed to be
know, I
here.
did it before. It's okay.
I know, but,
It's all right. To get it
Yeah.
done, I'd rather do it, Sharon.
okay.
Well, that's true.
Are you here, Sharon, then?
Yeah, I'm here,
Okay.
I'm here all week. I just have I have to drop my
So-
car off on
So-
Thursday.
So
Can we
the
do
25th?
Friday the
25th.
25th? You wanna do 9 o'clock like we did on the 16th of May? It's what we did the same time.
All right, let's see if, let me make sure I can't get to my schedule because I don't have any service.
Oh,
Um,
you don't?
I don't know.
Not,
I think I can
Got
get,
open Wi-Fi
can I
here.
get on?
Oh, we do?
Yeah,
Oh, well then.
Yeah, I have service.
Just a minute.
yeah,
let me-
we got
let
open
me log
Wi-Fi
in.
here.
Couldn't make a phone call, but I have service. Should I go on the Wi-Fi?
While he's looking,
Which one's, oh, Madison guest,
Sure.
okay, yeah.
I get a thing in my packet from someplace called Dewberry,
Dewberry.
Yeah,
Dewberry
those are
is-
the people that did the balloon test.
and it says on the top of it, case 2508.
Oh, 24.
It should be 2408. That's,
Sorry, I was just testing you.
yeah.
You have to understand, I was here all weekend last weekend, and I was a little punchy,
I understand how it is.
very punchy, actually. I'm glad I have a mother to go home to and scream and yell, because that's what they do, the poor thing.
Okay, 9 AM on,
The 25th. I'll send you out a reminder,
Okay.
and I'll also send one out on the Thursday before.
All right, so we want 9 AM, you said?
And I'll send you a reminder. Drew, you were gonna also look at that paperwork about how we changed the rules of procedure on
Right.
this. You were gonna look at that. Did you
Yeah.
have a chance?
I didn't, no, and
Okay,
I
good.
mentioned
It's
that
not a
Sharon,
rush.
I'll take a
When you
look
have
at
a
it.
chance, I
And
just
that's
wanna
not
make
an official procedure, that's just a hand.
That's
No,
just- yeah.
I just wanna make
Right,
sure
so-
that Sharon
Yeah.
doesn't have the wrong thing if she's presiding over a meeting and,
No, some of that stuff is just, actually what's helpful to get in there is some things like I've noticed in the procedure, we don't have to take a vote in closing the public hearing, the
Public hearing,
chairman
right.
can just do that.
Ah, okay.
And there's a couple of things like that that will be handy to have noted in there, so the chairman doesn't have
elevation.
to. Yeah, chairman can elevate, they
Right,
don't have to
right.
vote on it, so
Cause I
I'm
caught
saying,
you on one time, I said, don't you have to elevate? You're like, no, and I'm so used to the planning board having to do all that, so.
yeah.
Okay, so I got another request for you. Okay, when you, like this rules of procedure you gave to us tonight is an amended from the prior one.
Uh-huh.
It'd be nice if you could somehow highlight what the amendments are.
Oh, like what
Sure, it's true.
changed?
Like a lot of documents, when they amend something, they put a vertical bar next to
Well,
the,
you don't need
Just
to.
a little-
I've done
So-
that on this thing, no, they haven't done that. I
Yeah.
can highlight it in yellow and.
whatever works for you.
Yeah.
It's just change, all it was moving N to O and O to N.
Well, and that's fine, but if there's
I
anything
have the
more,
markups in my computer of
Yeah.
the revisions.
I personally would like to see the markup, but that's, Not a big deal. Just-
This is,
I move we adjourn.
this is,
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
meeting adjourned.
Gosh, you can go home, no.
right?
Gosh, you can go to the editing place.